Yo.
Or Wax Wednesday plus crypto market analysis. Somebody said that like Taco broke the other day, like you couldn't do anything,
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
but obviously they have it fixed by now.
Yeah, I used it earlier to claim my rewards from the dark matter pool, which is now the third deepest liquidity pool on Taco Swap, even deeper than Wax Woof. It's other than the native Taco Swap token pools, which is like Taco Wax and Shing Taco, it's the deepest liquidity thing on Wax right now, or on Taco Swap for Wax right now, with a counterpart of 200,000. That's crazy because when I first entered this pool, I was the deepest, the biggest, the number one spot in this market, and I never pulled from it. All I did was sell my rewards, and I've dropped down to being the 22nd biggest supplier now. So since I got into this, I got like way displaced. Some of these people put huge amounts of wax in there, but also we did finally get the correction that we would expect for that. Here's the daily prices. So 2 days ago, 3 days ago, dark matter dropped about 70% from its peak here all the way down to the bottom of this wick, 71.5%. Woo! Big, massive dumps, but expected. I feel like there's a lot of people like me who've been in it from like over here since I was still in profit even at the bottom of this sell-off. I was still up, but I've also just been selling my profit, like my yield, and I'm more than 100% recovered already. So I'm pretty much letting this ride indefinitely, and every day just taking what I've earned and feeding my my own liquidity pools, like mostly FTW LS Wax and FTW Wax. These two, which are my fattest liquidity pools in my yield farmer wallet, and then all these other pools just feed those as well. Because why not? It's fun. But let's see. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, I also made myself this wax LS Wax pool again. Curious if it's getting a bunch of volume now because I'm 100% of it. I think it does really well. Yeah, $200 in volume, and there's only $30 in liquidity. Yeah, so this is getting like turning over like 10 times in a day. This generates a ton of fees for you, even though it doesn't get any incentive rewards. As long as I'm in range, this pool is pretty great.
Probably at
I
least
bet you.
gets like, I wonder if
Yeah.
people have arbitrage bots for that on base. I think if not, people would
Oh,
manually do it probably.
yeah. I also have. I can pull up this one that I made. Go into here. Let's see, how do I combine these tabs? Here we go. Okay. Now that should be sharing. I made this pool on Ton for people trading Woof because you can now claim your Woof from the Woofy Tap game. I think at this point it's all the way vested too, so you can just like withdraw it to your wallet. And then a lot of people were like asking how to swap it, so I made it possible now that you can swap. Like here's 84 million, and it'll swap for close to what it's worth, I guess, at this point. So you're getting about $27.50 for this. If I did 84, like if I did the same amount of money, or the same amount of wax, I should say, or woof, I should say, actually. If I did the same amount of woof over on wax, I wonder how much, or how close it is to that same value. So you'd get almost $30 in value in wax for that trade right now. So I guess people who aren't familiar enough with the bridge and who have $30 worth to trade are willing to take this kind of like L, I guess. Because since I've opened this pool, it's been getting also like tons of volume. So, you know, there's $600 in liquidity, 1,400, and this is kind of low based on today. Like today is pretty low. The last few days, it's been like over $3,000 a day, which is great. It gives me a very high APR for just chilling here. And you can see I'm 100% of the liquidity. So all of the liquidity that's over on Ton chain right now is all me. If you go to pools and filter out by the Ton token pair and then sort by highest APR, it's kind of near the top too. It's like right here. And the ones that have the lightning bolts, they're higher because they get paid reward like incentives. So of the non-incentivized pools, it's like the third most high performing APR in the last 24 hours. And over the last 3 or 4 days, it's been like the top performing pool on this. Which again, nothing to write home about really, because it's not like an assload of volume or value, but it did make it possible for like a lot of people. Like I was in like tier 5 for rewards, so I got like 12 million woof, and so if I had claimed that on Ton Chain, I could actually trade that, for pretty much no price impact, and now I don't have to figure out how to bridge. And so that was like the goal for making the liquidity here anyway. That, and then like capturing all the value from people arbitraging between the different blockchains. But that's been fun.
Seems like it's down, not crazy much, but significantly. Like it's like 10 cents lower than before they did the distribution.
Yeah. It definitely had taken a big hit like on the way towards its distribution. Oh, like you can see my Cadisons tokens are in here too, showing up. Got $12 worth of Cadisons because my kitty cats were fat enough at slaughter time. Let's see. I'm gonna check my cats. I'm at level 253. I'm nowhere near Lewis's cat level of fatness. I've been slacking on running my cat bots.
They sort of stop getting fatter at a certain point. Like once you get to a certain
Yeah,
point,
that's
then
true.
you just get all three. Like each cat image, you get a small one, and then a medium, and then a large one of the same look.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I've had that for a while now where it's like they're like the three evolutions kind of the same cat.
You also currently get nothing for playing. Like they are doing another airdrop. Click on the airdrop
Oh.
pass, and nothing you earn points for has to do with the in-game play. It's all for like logging in daily,
Yeah.
retweeting shit, reacting
Yeah, I
to stuff in
noticed
the
that
Telegram
too.
channel. You don't actually need to run the game anymore if you want to earn the airdrop. I've been doing the airdrop stuff. I didn't want to buy the premium pass. Premium pass is like $40 or something, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, same. I did the airdrop stuff too, actually, and I'm already like I have like a few of the like 2 different tokens that I'm gonna be like owed just from the free side. I haven't bought the premium pass either.
You
The
definitely
premium pass
get
is like
way
forty
more for
five
doing the
bucks too. It's
premium. There's like a bunch of
yeah,
shit you can't unlock without the premium, and like every 5 tasks or something, you get a bunch more of the points that let you unlock the crates, but you only get those up to like 30 tasks if you don't pay for the premium pass. So you kind of like hit a wall real quick of how fast you can unlock those crates, and then you get double the crates also if you airdrop pass. So people with airdrop pass are definitely gonna get like exponentially more than people without it. But I don't know. I've been fine doing the free to play and not having to worry about it. It's
yeah,
like I don't know, depending on how many people do the airdrop pass, there's a set amount of tokens you get, and you divide that by how many points you get. And if more and more people all get more and more points, then like you might not get $35 worth of tokens back or whatever, $40 worth of tokens.
yeah. It's definitely like a interesting like a gamble. I think always like with any of these fucking weird clicker games, if you're gonna get anything back or if it's worth doing,
For
is
me,
always
it's
kind of
not
like
fun. There's no game involved in that, so like
yeah,
I liked
exactly.
upgrading the cats, and I threw a little money at that. I'm not gonna throw money at having to retweet their shit. Like I'm not paying you to spam retweet my
Yeah.
project.
That's where I'm at with that. That and the fact that it's like I don't see the like value proposition like making me my like money back unless this is like, a greater fools kind of setup where someone else has to lose for me to win, which I
Yeah,
don't really care
I
for.
also don't understand like how that's gonna work long term value for the token, because even if they give out, I guess if they give out less, even if they give out less than they take in, what are they doing with the stuff they take in? Are they gonna sell it? Like, are they gonna burn it? Either way, either they're gonna hurt their own economy, or they're going to like reduce their ability to earn as developers and develop new shit that would actually cause people to want to buy it long term. Like they can't
Yeah.
sell the token without impacting the price. So like now that they're getting paid in their own token, they're running into the same problem that every whacked game had, where like
Yeah.
eventually you run out of runway of being able to fund your project because you can't ask for real money because now you're taking
Yeah,
the
and you
money you
can't
made
sell
up.
your token without tanking the price, which then everybody like cascades into trying to front run you the developer, and selling you their shit, and then you end up getting like pennies on the dollar.
I don't know.
It's
Maybe they
not
figure
a
it
good
out, but
idea.
I feel like they are in the point of that we've seen happen on Wax like a million times, where it's like, okay, you had a pretty successful hyped launch, but it kind of is just downhill, downtrend from here. Unless I don't know, maybe they figure it out, but I feel like that model just doesn't work.
Yeah, let's see. Or let's look at like Gecko Terminal and see the prices. Gecko Terminal. Let's look at Caddy.
They also seem overly ambitious, where they're like, yeah, we're trying to launch like an entire like game network, and it's like, what does this have to do with the cats? Like, I don't know. Seems like
Yeah, let me
people,
check
which
the
we've also
numbers.
seen, like when people try to do too much, they almost always fail. Like having like one
Yeah,
good idea and then sticking to that, but like once you start getting money, being like, okay, now we're going to be a metaverse, now we're going to be
yeah.
card game, now we're going to be like just
Hold on a sec. My doctor's calling. Hold on, I gotta take this back.
start adding
One.
stuff over and over. I feel like that's not it. But I don't know. You kind of have to do something. You can't just be a tapper forever. The value is gonna die for sure. So you want to try something new, but very few projects have been able to successfully pivot from like being a clicker or a tapper into a more legitimate project. I think of like projects on Wax, like like blockchain brawlers. That did not go so hot as far as changing from a clicker to a game. Our Planet, another example, totally tanked. Green Rabbit.
They're just confirming. So it's like, yes. Yeah, here we are. The downtrend, like you said. We're at a new low here from the Caddy launch already. Damn, it launched at $1 a coin. That's
What's that
impressive.
now?
43 cents. It held pretty well for the first like 2 days, around like 90 cents. And then, for the first week, it stayed above 75. It's like a slow grind. It didn't immediately collapse into oblivion, but also, like, this is what happens to tokens that are printed for, people clicking on something.
Yeah, I feel like
So,
eventually, until the next airdrop, it'll probably hit a point where like people are out of tokens to sell. I think that's like the one thing about these tokens is like at some point the people trying to
yeah.
sell them have already sold them. Random King is up to 110 stream watch streak. That's crazy. Thank you for watching.
Damn.
That's like
Well, damn.
a
That's an
third of a
impressive streak.
year.
Yeah, jeez. And you're not missing any is the fucking impressive part there. I feel like
We
my
don't stream
own,
every day, so that's probably like
yeah.
every time we've streamed in the last year.
Damn. I'm impressed. Here, like, let's see. I'm curious what it like trades 24-hour volume. What trades the most on Ton? USDT, okay, or USD or whatever. It looks like a Tether icon though.
I will
Tether's
say
been getting kind of like shaky just because like Coinbase is delisting it, and so are a bunch of other like major exchanges are delisting Tether because of like regulation and concerns with it. Plus USDC is very complicit with regulations and stuff, so it's a lot easier for like above board exchanges to support USDC and delist Tether. But I wonder if Tether's actually like losing peg at all from that.
I feel like I don't see DAI very much anymore.
Yeah, let's see. USDT. DAI is still a thing. DAI is like MakerDAO's stablecoin.
I just don't like whenever I'm doing DeFi
Here.
and layer 2 shit, like none of the pools are with DAI. They're always with USDC, USDT.
Yeah. Here's
Like on
USDC.
Beefy.
That's true. Yeah, DAI has very few like they have an interesting like they like have withdrawn money as cash, and they have a like trust set up in the US that's owned by the DAO that invests in United States Treasury bonds. So like the part of the DAI backing is actually held as like Treasury bonds, which is fucking nuts. That's so cool. MakerDAO has come a long way from, collateralizing everything with ETH to now having like a pretty solid like cash reserve for its stable coins.
It says KY redeemed an on-screen celebration, and I see nothing on my screen, so I don't know what's going on there. Let me see if I can manually make that pop. Didn't show up in our mini feed either.
Now let's see. It's funny when I look through the tokens on Ton, I like don't recognize any of these except for I guess Hamster Combat. I remember Hamster Combat. Let's look at Hamster Combat too now that we're talking about it for a second. Oh yeah. Oh. Okay, that's the 15-minute chart. Let's go like. Yep. Similar start of the trajectory downward. Who'da thunk it? Clicking a picture of a hamster and having money come out of it isn't a sustainable way to keep the value of that money. But we'll see. I don't know. It's only been a couple days, right? Let's see. Daily chart. Yeah, it's been like a week. As usual, selling when the hype is at its peak was the move. At least so far. Let's see what other nonsense is on this channel.
Well, he said thank you, Kevin, but the cheer should work, so I don't know what the hell the difference between an on-screen celebration and a cheer is, but
yeah, weird.
There's my manual celebration for you.
Just be like, raise the roof.
Your name was Kevin? That works out. Otherwise, Kevin's getting stolen valor.
What is this? This is the #1 performing token on the Ton chain right now is Diamond Bull Technology.
How's Notcoin doing? Is Notcoin still?
Notcoin's not even like, let's see, top liquidity.
Notcoin's definitely like, I was talking about this on our Discord. Notcoin's like the TLM of Ton, where Notcoin did super well, and then everybody else is just trying to like recreate that success. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like those are like, as you were saying, you've participated in crypto.
Yeah.
For like, I don't know. We're coming up to a decade soon.
A decade, yeah. Damn.
And you, in one time, ever got a token that like had that insane growth overnight, and it's like
one time in 10 years. And that was 10 years of like, for the first chunk of like during like the ICO craze and stuff, I was trying to like find the next like diamond in the rough, and it's a tall order, and it has nothing to do with fundamentals or actual anything other than like luck and hype. Here's Notcoin. I mean, it did incredibly well, and then has since done exactly what you see with a breakout like this. It's probably I would have to guess is going to be between 70 and like 40% pulled back from the peak. 70, 72. Like generally speaking, when a parabola breaks, it'll drop like up to 80%, and we dropped to about 75. So we probably are hitting close to like where we're going to see support for Notcoin. If we're gonna, go into another boom cycle.
Tokens people got for like clicking a button too. It's still worth way more than it should be, in my opinion.
It's unbelievable looking at the the volume alone. There's almost $250,000 in volume. Let's see, liquidity, $4 million worth of liquidity. Woo! That's just this one pool too.
What's TLM like these days?
TLM, yeah. Here we can get a glimpse into.
Thank you for the follow, Ridzavilla.
Let's do TLM and Binance. Why not? At Pancake Swap.
Is that worth more than Notcoin? I think it is per token. I think Notcoin was 0.007, right?
This is 009, and then Notcoin. Yeah, 007. You're right.
Official Wax is better than Ton.
Here's the much longer life of. So whereas Notcoin is probably like here's TLM, and also this is taking from Pancake Swap. So this is after the Binance listing. So we're not seeing like the full like Let's see if I can find a TLM.
You might not even be able to find that info in Wax either, because like Alcor has changed its.
Pancake Swap. These are all on Binance Chain. So TLM didn't even start its life on Binance Chain. So none of these charts are going to be.
That's sort of the crazy thing about Wax, like, not financial advice, but like, if somebody is trying to come at you for trading wax tokens for games, like good luck finding that accurate price data. Like, if the government
Yeah.
comes for you, it's like you can't even look at what Aether is worth because Alcor changed all its contracts and there are no longer charts that show what it was worth before the V2 or V3 swaps or whatever. Right? I guess
Yeah,
there's still the
pretty
market.
much.
Did the market get upgraded?
I think the whole market contract is like because those V2 pools no longer exist in the same capacity. Like they don't produce their tokens. They don't. It's like the whole contract was like migrated.
That's for the swaps, though. Is it also for the market or like the market
Oh, I
by
guess the
itself?
market could. Let's see. Maybe the market history is there. I don't think so though. I think that also gets weirdly purged every now and then. But let's see. Spot market. Spot market for TLM and Wax.
That
Let's
might be
set
the
this to
only
like a
way if you can
weekly
go
chart.
back to 2021.
Yeah, here it is. The pre-Binance listing price information. So you can get it here.
But still,
So
anybody who bought before Binance is still doing well.
so let's say you bought this peak here, right? Like even these like huge spikes. Like let's say the peak before the Binance listing shut down. The Binance listing saw a 2,000% profit. So you're up what is that 21 times what you started with?
Damn.
Like overnight. Because that candle is red, meaning that it started up here and ended the day or the week here. And then you could have been swinging back and forth. Like, look at these candles are like this wide, right? So the swing range here was 140%. And that's not that crazy. You can find that on a lot of altcoins. But yeah, a 2,000% gap jump up here. That is something you don't see ever. Like we got so stupid lucky buying this shit when we did. Like it's not like something you can recreate. And also like I think I bought like around here where it was like the hype was kind of like whatever. No one's really doing anything. And then let's see, from there to the peak of that.
I'm also not sure if I was in like I don't think I was in their Discord and stuff, or I might have been in their Discord by then. But like I wasn't super active in Wax chats, so I don't know if like there were rumors of a CEX listing or anything. Like we bought that exclusively to try to monkey farm.
Yeah, so here you can see what the actual like price up is for like what we bought into versus our opportunity to have sold at is 16,805% profit. And that's literally from like here to here, like over that course of time. So that is, if you convert that into like how many times multiplier, that's 170 times what you put into it. Like roughly, so every dollar you put into this was worth $170. Yeah, that kind of shit just doesn't happen. It's really fucking cool that it did. And then look what happened after. I mean, when you do hear about TLM, which is like here after this hugeness happens, this is what happened after that, So like looking at the price action since then, yeah, I mean anyone who bought before any of that is still sitting pretty, like if we're looking at what it's at versus what it's at now, they're still up almost 10x. Like had you bought TLM at like inception versus now. And of course, that's 10x in terms of Wax. Wax is probably down more than 10x from here. So you're probably at a net loss in dollars. But yeah, if you're looking at this in terms of Wax, we're talking about, a 170x profit in a matter of like a week. But you can also see once everyone's savvy and sees what happens, like this is kind of the next thing. It's like it all kind of came crashing right back down. And like Lewis said, everybody kind of like jumped in and tried to follow the same type of like, hyped staking for rewards stuff, which was basically the meta that established by Alien Worlds back in the day.
I mean, staking for rewards, clicking for rewards.
Clicking,
literally like the early version of what a tapper is. A tapper is just a clicker, but you don't earn crypto every time you tap. You tap for like a score to eventually get airdrop crypto. But like,
yeah,
essentially like the modern version of that. But it's like we've seen that all play out. And I was just saying the it's very similar to like TLM did it really well, and like they pay their employees in TLM and stuff. So the people who are behind Alien Worlds came up huge because they all had like thousands and thousands and thousands in their employee wallets if they weren't selling it before. And people see that for Notcoin. And if you look at a lot of the like tappers on Telegram, it's like, 10% goes to the team. So people are like, Notcoin at one point was worth 70 cents a coin. If I had millions and millions and millions of those because I'm a team member and I pay myself in my own token, then I'm going to get rich. And I feel like that's the incentive for there being a new tapper launched every day on Ton, which is like,
Yeah.
but I don't think any of them will have the success of like, was it 7 cents or 70 cents? What was the peak?
The peak was almost, let's see, looks like 3 cents ish, like
Okay,
2.8 cents.
But still, 3
And now
cents.
it's a seventh of a cent now.
If you had like what you got for Woofy, you know, like
Yeah.
millions
If you had like
or
a
billions
billion,
of tokens.
yeah, you got a billion of those, and now they're worth 3 cents. Suddenly, you're sitting on $30 million. Like that's real money.
And you as an individual might not, but the team, as far as like when they get an allocation, literally like 10% of the entire supply or whatever, like they could be making real money. And that's what I think you see.
Yeah.
Like the amount of money it costs to probably hire a program to make you a tapper and like figure out how to make a token contract and stuff. I mean, we can do that all in Wax as far as like we can airdrop. If we had a leaderboard with wallets attached to it, we could airdrop, which is like really most of the on-chain shit that's happening. Then you just go to Fiverr and pay a dev whatever amount of money it costs to be like, when I want to click on the screen, I want a number to go up and I need to be able to see like who did that. But
and then I want like every month send me who like the rewards go to, and I'll just airdrop them on there.
It probably costs more because you need to find a crypto developer that can like have wallets login. But I feel like for probably a couple $1,000s, you could find a developer to do that. And then if you're potentially making millions of dollars in team tokens, like I think a lot of people are willing to take that risk. And yeah, I just don't think it's going to work out for most people. And we saw in Wax, like it does short-term work out as far as like there were so many clickers on Wax that for like maybe even a month, 2-3 months, everything mooned and like all the assets were selling for a ton. And every drop was selling out and they were able to print money. But like at the end of the day, that pretty much only benefited people who got in super early and sold super early, or the developers themselves if they didn't reinvest the money in the project. Anybody that actually believed in their project lost all their money, because if you paid to continue to develop stuff, it all eventually goes to zero. So like only the shitheads win, basically. Like people that are trying to dump early and the people that are fucking not investing in their project at all and just taking the money and running. So I feel like the whole system is just not good for the ecosystem, because it's like anybody who believes in it on either the creator side or the player side is going to lose, which is like not the way to build a sustainable community, not the way to like keep people involved in the space. So I don't know. I'm not really a fan of like this as a business model or as like everybody launching it. Like I don't know, it just seems very opportunistic and not sustainable. And I don't know that like I don't know. We'll see how Ton does. Ton's still super new. I feel like Ton is like Wax 2021, where it's like everything is blowing up. Everybody's hyped about everything, but like as we saw in Wax, like that can quickly dwindle if nothing of substance comes along. So maybe it'll succeed where Wax failed, but I'm suspicious still.
Yeah, same. We'll have to see, but it's definitely like a tall order. And the main thing Ton has going for it is that it's like integration with Telegram. Aside from that, I mean, Wax is cheaper, faster, and like in my opinion, like objectively better. But you know, for this type of shit, for like clicker stuff and like gaming nonsense, as far as like a blockchain infrastructure setup goes,
I do think the Telegram integration is pretty huge as far as like
that's huge, and that's
Discord's
like the main thing
big. At least I don't know like all country stuff, but Discord seems to be big in America. But like I think like Asian countries and stuff like use Telegram way more. I also know WhatsApp's pretty big like internationally. WhatsApp, I feel like in America we don't really use. Like you never like, hey man, hit me up on WhatsApp. That's like I've never heard an American person tell me that.
That's true.
But when I like some international friends I have are like, hey, like hit me up through WhatsApp. So like I don't know, it's different everywhere. But I think Telegram is very, very large as far as like crypto community goes. So having that integrated, I think, is a huge advantage over Wax. Even if all these clickers fail, I don't know that Ton is going to just disappear, but I do think they need like something more substance than like the tappers are going to be a fad, in my opinion.
Yeah, same. And like maybe like the Notcoin or what, like one, maybe the cat one, who knows? Like maybe one of them does like make it to go the distance, but all of them won't. No matter how successful the concept of tappers becomes, they're not all going to be winners.
I think Notcoin's already the winner, and I don't think anything's going to overtake it as far as like longevity goes, because TLM was also the first on Wax and none of the things copying it. People are successful
TLM
for
is
like
also still the winner on Wax. Like TLM is still around. Like if I go to like what is it, like the market right now for NFTs, I bet you Alien Worlds are still top like 10 collection.
That's also not to say things won't have success, because like Farmers World overtook Alien
Yeah.
Worlds, and for like a full year, Farmers World was cooking, and everybody was printing money at that. That doesn't mean stuff won't pop up, but like
Oh, what do you know?
just the
Number one
longevity, I
collection.
don't think like Farmers World. Look where Farmers World is now. Farmers World crashed harder than probably anything. It was I think it at one point sold more than Alien World, so it's like I don't think anything crashed as hard as Farmers World.
Honestly,
So
let's take a look, because I would not be surprised to find the lifetime volume of Farmers World exceeding that of Alien Worlds, which is insane. So here's Farmers Worlds right now, and we can see it's loading. So give it a second here, and we'll see what the total volume on this collection has been. 194 million. We'll call it 195 because it's 957,000. $195 million in volume, or 442 million wax. While Alien Worlds, I feel like Alien Worlds is going to be overshot by a lot. 192 million is so much fucking money.
it's crazy for like what the game was. Like it was dumb as shit.
Yeah, here we go. 45 million. This is already an insane amount of money. But I was going to say this is less than a quarter of what Farmers Worlds did. And Alien Worlds, we just got done saying, was the most successful, biggest, fucking longest running successful project on Wax.
But that's also just NFT sales. I think if you
Yeah.
looked at
that's true.
long-term volume for the token, TLM would
That's
probably
true.
be
TLM is
way
gonna-
dunking
That's
on.
true.
The Farmers
That's
World tokens
true.
were never traded on multiple blockchains. They were never listed on centralized exchanges. That's one thing I'll give Catizin over a lot of projects is like they got like 4 or 5 CEX listings and do seem to be like
Yeah.
for a meme coin like closer to Woof legitimacy as far as like it's actually like tradable. They're not just like only living on like Aether did well as too, but Aether was never like a real token. Anything that's only tradable on Wax, I feel like, is not really a real token. You got to be listed on at least one centralized exchange to be a big boy token.
Yeah, I'm curious what the top sale was, because I just saw 100. Oh wow, almost twice as much. $186,000 for a single sale on an item in Wax.
Remember that Splinterland lands?
Yeah, $700,000.
That person probably like is, I don't know. I mean, they probably, if you're paying that much for land in a game that didn't have land yet, you probably have that money to lose. But like, that's probably got to be the like biggest fail. You should go check how much that sells for now. Like how much those are listed for.
I'm curious.
That's probably got to be like one of the biggest L's, single L's. I'm sure people buying in bulk have lost more, but that Splinterlands land was crazy.
Splinterlands will go for history.
What's their 24-hour volume when you click on them too? Like I wonder. I haven't heard anything about Splinterlands in like a year and a half. I don't know. I used to only hear about them because they hosted that convention, but then they stopped doing that, and now it's NFTopia.
$705,000, 2.4 million.
Click on the asset. Let's see.
Let's go to the listing. No, which one's the ID?
And if you click on the listing, it'll have the asset ID.
Yeah, here we go. NFT ID. Lowest listing's not available. Last one sold for 104,000, so 7 times less. 104,000 last sale.
It's a $600,000 loss.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oof.
Ouch. Who knows if they had? I don't know enough about the economy of this one to know.
The land wasn't out yet when people were buying this. It was all speculative, and Splinterlands was doing well, but I think Splinterlands is like mostly collapsed since then. I don't know. Click on the collection. Let's see what the daily volume is like. I don't think I haven't seen it like where Alien Worlds is in a very long time.
50 cents, 24 hours. 6.5, almost 6.3 million though in lifetime volume.
A tenth of that was that single trade.
Yeah, looking at the last month, it's doing $70 in a month, and it looks like that's pretty accurate to their monthly performance because it's about double that in 2 months, and a little over triple that in 3. Yeah, it seems like they're going to be around $70 in monthly volume.
I guess they're on Hive now. They were always on Hive though. They were never like the game itself was never on Wax. It was always on Hive, but the assets were on Wax and Bridgeable.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Splinterlands. It was actually like the most functional game on Wax for a while, or Wax adjacent, I guess, because it was on Hive. But I heard they had like big problems with bots and stuff, and like I don't know, they had a lot of problems with other games. They did the
Yeah,
same
I mean,
thing
the
where it's
game was
like,
like built to be like you're supposed to like passively run it, so it was basically like a bot paradise game.
but it also like
But
made the same mistake. Well, not I don't know if it was a mistake. They probably are very happy they were selling land for that much, but like they
yeah,
made the same mistake of like I don't know why does a card game need land
yeah,
like people just jumped on every hype train to sell more packs, and they were like, okay, like land sales are big, metaverse is big, so let's incorporate that into our battling card game, which is just like blockchain brawlers are the same thing, but that's like I don't know, pretty obvious like trying to make money off of hype when it doesn't need to fit in your project. For like I don't know, when I don't play Magic the Gathering. I think there's land cards like as like a type of card, right, or something,
oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
you
That's
don't
like the most
you know
common
you
card in the game.
you don't have an external land that like you put your cards into to earn stuff and upgrade your card. Like
Yeah,
that shit is that doesn't exist in like trading card games or battler games. So like people are trying to like throw shit in there where it's just like I don't know. There's auto battlers you can get on Steam. None of them have land. Like Dark Country did the same
yeah,
thing where they like made land and it's like, oh, you can do like side quest clicker missions on this land. It's like I don't play clicker missions when I play Magic the Gathering. Like what the fuck is
yeah.
this and why would this ever work?
Like even now, lands are still $200 for Alien Worlds, but I guess in Alien Worlds it makes sense in
That's
that game.
also they launched the game with land. Like
Yeah,
you couldn't
exactly.
mine before there's land, so that's like an integral part of the game. And then everybody just tried to copy it, even though like it didn't make sense for their game. Bob does not still play Splinterlands. I don't think Bob's done any crypto stuff in like a year, maybe two.
Yeah, I think he still has USDT liquidity in one of his wallets, and he should probably unwind that before USDT is sunset on the EOSIO side of things.
Ivanov says there's a new card set. They're advertising it now. I haven't gotten to
Oh, that's
Splinterland
pretty
stuff, but
cool.
I heard there's something like staking. Yeah, I don't know. I know they incorporated the land somehow. It just didn't need to happen. Like when I first
Yeah,
heard about it, it was like, oh, these lands are going to drop potions you can use mid battle. So if you're going to play at the, like top competitive tier, you'll need the land. And everybody's assuming like the tokens you'd earn would be worth a ton or whatever from doing the top competitions, but that like didn't pan out that way. It's all just based on speculation and hype most of the time. Like I don't know. Very rarely is like an asset. Really, no video game asset should ever really be worth like thousands of dollars, let alone 700,000.
yeah,
Like that's just insane. Like the most, I guess people sold Counter Strike shit for that much, but it's like, do you think Splinterlands is going to be the longest running, most popular game in the world, or like I don't know. Counter
yeah.
Strike's not the most popular game in the world, but like I would say it's the longest running, most popular. Like name another game from 1998 that is still around and has that player base.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
But that's like a one in a bajillion every game that's ever been released since then. It's like you think this one you're betting on, and there's like 5 skins that have ever been sold for like that much in Counter Strike. Like I think there's been like a few $1 million trades, but like an expensive skin that actually moves frequently in Counter Strike is worth like 20k, like 10, 20k. You'll get a couple of those a month. Like 5, 10 skins sell for that a month. At least on the
Yeah.
marketplace I look at, there's multiple marketplaces, but like I don't know, that amount of money is insane. It's like you need the rarest thing in the most popular game ever. And there also wasn't none of those land plot things. Like there's
Yeah.
a bunch of those. Like there's no way that value should have been there. Those were also just like a large plot of land. Like you got 100 lands or something. So you had like
Yeah.
100 out of thousands and thousands of lands. So like I don't know, the
Yeah.
ability
For
for
sure.
people to devalue yours by just dumping and dumping and dumping. That's why somebody lost $600,000 on that. But I don't know. We got caught up in the hype. I bought shit that I shouldn't have bought for way more than I should have. I spent probably thousands of dollars on Our Planet Land at one point. I don't know. I haven't looked at my buys, but
Ah. Let's
but
see.
no, I never
Uh,
spent $700,000. That would be. I've never had $700,000. If I did, I would not spend it on Splinterlands land.
oh my God! Someone's outbidding me by 1 wax. What a dick! An 800 wax bid on this thing, and someone put one for 801.
I just checked and I got a few more monkey airdrops for my monkey wallet. It's like that's cool. Monkey
Oh yeah.
farm.
Let's see.
I wonder if anybody will ever
Let's-
buy. I have like the mint, not the mint one, but I have the first ever Crypto Monkey one that I paid way too much for.
oh yeah. Let's see. Here's my monkeys. Oh yeah, I got some new ones recently-ish. I don't remember most of these.
I think I have it in a different wallet.
Let's see. My rarest monkey is legendary. This one, the Monkey Miner. Lowest listing 19. Is that my listing? Yeah, I'm the lowest listed for almost $300, just shy of 10,000 wax.
Yeah, I have Monkey Printer Go Brewer.
I remember I bought this one when we got all our money from TLM getting listed on Binance, because I was like, why the fuck not? I want a little souvenir of this insanity. This never happens. So let's see what I probably spent too much on it too. Let me find out here's the NFT.
I
Let's
bought
go to
mine for
sales and see.
9,000 wax. 9,019.
Looks like I bought mine for 3,600.
Monkey Printer Go Brewer. It last sold for 8,000 though, so maybe I could. I don't think wax is worth what it is when I paid for it though.
Yeah, yeah.
Financial loss. The lowest listing is 25K though, so we'll see.
It looks like last time it sold was probably me. The median price 3,300, whatever. That's because I spent 3,600.
The last time this one sold was December 18th, 2022. So these are not selling very often, but I don't know. Of the NFTs I have on wax, like I don't regret buying this one.
This is one of my favorites too. I wouldn't be upset if it sold for 9,000 wax, but I wouldn't sell it for less. Is kind of my thing.
CryptoMonkeys are still around too, like of the projects on wax. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
they never promised anything. That's one thing I'll say.
Yeah,
CryptoMonkeys,
exactly.
they never said our shit's gonna be worth. They always said it's gonna be freely distributed, and they were never like, yeah, buy this as an investment or like we're gonna hype this
Yeah.
shit to the moon. It's always just like, oh, this is a fun thing. So I don't know. I don't think CryptoMonkeys are close to the worst project. They also like they've done everything for free, so like they're not cash grabbing in the way that a lot of projects have done. So
I had a lot of these rares at one point. I definitely have the first 19 of the CryptoMonkeys, which is cool. Except for the Monkey Printer, the one that you have. That's number 1, I think.
yeah, you can get it for 25,000 wax if you want it.
Yeah, that's out
Lowest
of my
listing.
budget. I'd have to sell 2 of my super epic ones. But I don't know. Yeah, I still like my CryptoMonkey collections. I'm also pretty big. Like we're looking at my my wallet here. I have a pretty big NFT collection in general, so I'm a fan of like most of these things.
Let's do a giveaway real quick before we get into.
Let's. Oh,
We
my
haven't really even
sound
done any
off.
market analysis. We've been fucking yapping
Just
for
kinda-
40 minutes.
Yeah, let's do some of that.
I haven't opened the form yet. Here we go. Exclamation point neon. We'll give away some woof. Actually, we also have, when is New York City Comic Con? NYC Comic Con. October 17th. That's next week. Priscilla gave us some NFTs to give away. Here's my Monkey Printer Go Brewer.
Is that mint? Do you have mint 1 of that too?
Mint 9.
That's also a good one.
Of 19, there's not a lot.
Yeah.
I was also looking to see if I could find the Lewis Drop Monster. It's still in packs, though I can't buy it from someone. Giveaway going on. Yeah, we have a bunch of New York. First place will also get a New Yokai Comic Con June promo. If you happen to be in New York City going to Comic Con, you should check out Phil's booth. It's just put where it is. You told me in DM. Let me get that info out. I have too many DMs.
Yeah, hold on one second. Paul's calling me.
It's our table at H13 in New York City Comic Con. Each day she'll be giving away some rare NFTs at my table. Attendees in the know will simply need to ask to see the QR code for the private keyed link. Attendees must be attending New York City Comic Con in person to get the link. I guess like there's no advertisement for it, so if you just go up to Priscilla's booth, she will have free claimable NFT. If you're in the know. So now you're in the know. Check it out. Oh, Max's game. Yeah, we'll give away one of those promos for first place plus Wolf, and then second and third will also get Wolf. Do a Woofy Wolf giveaway.
Wow, I'm surprised. Paul's in the other room playing VR.
What games are you playing?
He needed my password for buying shit. He's trying to buy some game that a friend recommended. It's something about like flying over cities that his friend said he's obsessed with.
He's trying to save himself from a B-NATO.
Yeah, I guess so. I want to see the next episode of that terrible show.
I feel like the kid's gonna end up landing the plane for sure, right?
Yeah, it's got to be. I feel like that's gonna happen the first, like, it's like the cold open is gonna resolve that, and there's gonna be like a new disaster for them.
I was surprised they took the whole episode on the plane. I thought we were gonna get back to like the actual B-NATO faster.
Right?
That's ridiculous.
I hope they don't like just drop the B-NATO storyline, because that's
There's
what
no
we're
way
here
they
for.
are. How much more
Yeah.
can they do on that plane? They already had like
Yeah.
the guy with the boner pills. They had the guy with the heart attack, which is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. They're like, he's
The
good
dialogue.
now.
The dialogue in that show is so bad. It's so fucking funny. Like the boner pills part was so funny, where she's just like, "All right, now give him a blanket," and she's like, "What's the blanket for?" For decency. Yeah. It's just like, who in the fuck would ever ask a follow-up question for give that guy a blanket? And if they did ask that follow-up question, no one would ever ask, "What's the blanket for?" It's so like humans don't talk like that.
Poppin' stock, winning a Sune. You're gonna get your Sune real soon, eh? That's
Oh,
what
wow.
my dad,
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm sorry.
I think is Poppin' stock Canadian? That A might have actually worked better.
Oh.
Get number 79, not number 69, unfortunately.
Here
And a
we
million
are.
wolf. 1 million. Once I sign in my wallet. Black.
In our room.
Don't know if I typed in my password right. I did. Sent. Nailed it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 37 cents for a million wolf. That's like half
Bam.
of what it was at one, or less than half, because it wasn't
Yeah,
over
it was like
or something.
$1.50
like
at one point.
less than what it was at
Yeah.
one point. Wolf's definitely not doing as strong as it once was, but that's to be
5x
expected
lower.
since a lot of it's been distributed since then.
Yeah. I think they're still doing the buyback. People are waiting for that on the Taunt chain, because they're supposed to buy back everything with the wolf that was spent on the game.
What do you mean by buyback?
Like
What do you mean
they
the ton that was spent on the game?
Yeah, the ton. Yeah, the ton that was spent on the game.
How are you buying wolf with wolf? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, buy back wolf and then burn it, I guess, is the move, but we'll see. I mean, it's also like they're distributing new wolf, so burning some would be nice. Although, I don't know. We'll see how all that plays out. I don't really care too much, because I feel like it's just a meme coin for fun, so.
Alright, I'm flipping back over to Max's
Let's
screen. Poppin' Sock
let's look
says
at
I'm French Canadian. That's the worst kind. Is it?
Oh. So does that mean no A's? Instead of A's, it like a French kind of noise?
You just say baguette. Thing.
Yeah,
Where's that? Toronto? Is Toronto in?
Toronto is like right by the border of like.
Where's it? Quebec.
Michigan.
Quebec is the. Is Toronto in Quebec though? I don't know enough about Canada.
Quebec is definitely like a province. Toronto's a city.
Montreal. Montreal is the French one, right?
That sounds very French.
There's like. Yeah, I feel like there's one. I'm trying to think of the big city in. I at one point took a Canadian studies class, and I remember learning about the French Canadians who apparently in their politics veto everything that's not good for French Canada. Instead of like a two-party system, they have like three-party system where it's like either party has to lobby to get the Quebec people on their side to pass anything, and the Quebec people are like, we're not gonna fucking pass anything that doesn't benefit us directly. That's at least what I learned in my class. I don't know how accurate that is, but to my memory, which has been impaired over the last 10, 15 years. Toronto's in
That-
Ontario. Okay, it's Montreal. Montreal has like a good jazz festival. I think I don't know if it still exists, but Just for Laughs was like a comedy festival that I believe was in Montreal. So Montreal's got a good
Yeah,
art scene.
it is. They went bankrupt. JFL is no more.
Well, R.I.P. It used to be a pretty big deal for stand-up comedians.
It was. Paul got on that.
Paul went to Canada for that, or was it a different one?
He got on that and like was on like they were like it was the final part of it was in Montreal and then they were like actually we're bankrupt and it's not happening. So
That sucks.
it would have been a big deal, but yeah.
All right, let's do analysis.
But that's how I know it went bankrupt. It also was done in such a shitty way. Like a bunch of people had already like planned trips and stuff, and like some people had booked flights and hotels and shit, and they were like, "Oh, by the way, that thing that's supposed to happen in like a week, yeah, it's actually we're broke," which is like you didn't go broke in the last week, so you definitely knew this was coming, and you let people like book tickets and make reservations and spend their money on something you knew wasn't going to happen. It was a pretty shitty. Like the community was very upset with JFL. But yeah, whatever. Let's look at the market instead here. That's just some like comedy world drama. But here, I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart. We've been watching Bitcoin, oh man, for like 2 years. On our stream here, we check in every Wednesday to see how the markets are moving, and then make some decisions about what we want to do with some funds that we've also been playing with on the Wax blockchain. But let's start by checking the markets, see how they're moving, and if anything's changed from what we've been looking at over this past few weeks. So last week we were seeing this kind of like peak up, push up to the on the weekly support band here, and we were saying that like, yeah, what we need to see is for the week to kind of like push and close and break out of our little channel here, for us to kind of like, see the next leg up of of the bull market. Otherwise, we're looking for a pullback and then the forming of a higher low. So we want to see this, if we are going to be rejected and pull back, which it looks like is happening currently. We want to see this pullback not fall below, 54, 55K here, and then start to form a higher low, give us another chance to retest here with the newfound momentum to kind of re-push out and then break up and continue up and play out the price target from our cup and handle pattern here, which you can see we have here. I guess I should make this linear and I can make the price target check. Maximus panel. No. Where's my? Oh, where's that thing? The setting for this to go linear. Why am I missing that? I always like looking at stuff in log, but to make a price target, I need to be in linear. But either way, what we're looking for without having to like draw it out, if you were in linear space, so instead of it going, from 1 to 500,000 here, it would probably peak up at like 200K or whatever if you're in a linear space. You just take the depth of the cup, which is right here, our cup, and the depth of that, from the bottom point to kind of like where the flat top of that would be. And then you could take copy and paste that actual little marker. And once you see the breakout happen from the handle, which we haven't gotten yet, so if we are going to pull back here and then maybe like it breaks out here, then we can set our target there. And then the peak of this is going to show us how high we're looking for that breakout to go before it stops. And
What's that number?
we
We can't really see the numbers on your screen.
Oh, since I'm in log space, it's 254,000, but it's more like 160K or something in actual like linear
You
space.
know how to switch it to the linear space?
I'm looking for the button, and I always do it on my phone, and it's a different layout here. I'm trying to find where it is. Let's see, maybe I can change it from here. Things. Canvas. No. Right, yeah, let me ask
How to
ChatGPT.
change... Was the
Alright.
log to linear?
Yeah. Indicators.
Trading.
Where is that?
Press
It should be
Alt-L
like
on your keyboard.
Alt L. Yeah, okay, that works. And now you can see what happened to my target here. The stick got that much longer because of the logarithmic space. Copy, paste. Let's see. So then the breakout target would be more realistically. Yank. Say we break out from like here. Then we'd be looking at a peak at 115, 113K. So just over 110,000 is like the target if we're breaking out here. Of course, you know, if we're going to close lower and break out over here or something, maybe it drops a little bit lower to like 110, 111. But either way, if we do get a breakout from this channel, that is basically the target for that. You know, we're looking for a breakout up to like $100,000. We still haven't seen it, and we've actually seen, you know, the kind of rejection this past week here. We didn't close the full week outside of our channel or above our strength band, and you know, we have this little long wick down fat body candle. This is kind of a bearish candle, this weekly close, and then you can see in this past week we've basically been trading entirely within this wick, which is also like not bullish, not like starting to form a bottom, but basically for this week, which still has 4 days left to go, we're likely to see it, you know, pull below the bottom of this wick, which will continue to signal bearish price activity unless we stay above that, close this candle, and then start to form a little bit of a bottom, you know, which is what we're looking for, a higher low. We already have been getting, you know, a higher high here if you consider these two candles as the high previously topping above this high. So now what we're looking for is a higher low, with this being the most recent low, and also, you know, the lowest low, since we've been making lower lows, lower highs up until this recent higher high here. Undo that. But yeah, so with that in mind, we're probably looking at this coming week, you know, it's a little undefined, but the week is looking a little more bearish. We want to like move down a little. It says this general sentiment in the market, I think, is shifting more and more bullish. Overwhelmingly, I am looking also to be more bullish. I want to like look for opportunities to buy versus for short selling profits. So I'm not like open with big short positions waiting for this to sell down as much as I'm like waiting in sideline capital to open long positions and buy some more Bitcoins once we do see this lower high start to confirm. But until we see that, I'm a little like, you know, sidelined a little bit, waiting to see what actually happens. So basically, in the coming week, we want to see a lower or a higher low start to form and basically look like we're building up support in crypto and Bitcoin to start breaking, retesting this kind of like handle trend channel and hopefully break out and, you know, signal the next phase up here in the bull market, which will similarly to this, you know, long-term price sideways action result in something more like this, where you're getting then like multiple weeks back to back of big green candles. That's kind of like the next leg up kind of activity what we're looking for, and we basically can get confirmation of this kind of a price breakout activity by tracking you know, the weekly chart and seeing if we're making higher lows to kind of get that initial confirmation. And then once we break out of our channel that we've been tracking here for, you know, months now, it's like half a year almost, since March. Once we break out of this channel, then we'll also get like the basically another level of confirmation. So there's a lot of signals that we're basically on the lookout for right now to get more of a bullish sentiment. And until we get those signals, I think it's better to kind of like play it slow and not really, you know, try to ape in based on like world news right now, like the China stimulus news or that kind of stuff, where people are like, oh, this is going to happen, money's about to do all this, so the markets are going to do this. It's like, yes, they might, and it's a good idea to like be aware of all those things, but at the same time, as I've always kind of urged on whenever we're looking at these charts, it's most prudent to follow the charts more than it is to follow the news, And right now the charts are not fully signaling of reversal just yet, although they are starting to indicate that there are early signs and we know what we're looking for. So the move, I think, coming in the coming week is kind of like keep an eye on that and stay vigilant for that lower or that higher low. And so let's jump over to wax really quick. Yoink. Oh, right. The weekly hates me because it spiked all the way up to $50 per wax. But if we move over to here, then we
That
can
never
kinda
actually happened, I don't think.
No, it's like the second the trading went live, it was like probably like 50 cents worth of it was probably bought for that amount because there's no liquidity and somebody placed a market order is most likely what that is. But yeah, you'll see that on a lot of like newer tokens that are trading where like right when they go live, there's like a crazy price activity. And that's just because there's no volume. Or not even true. That's because there's no liquidity and the volume is too high. Okay, here we are on the weekly chart for Wax, and you can see similarly where Wax is also, if we're going closer and closer here, Wax has also been doing kind of like a lower trend where each of these lows are lower than the previous lows, and each of these highs are lower than the previous highs up until this most recent high, which can clearly be seen as a higher low, as a higher high. This is a higher high here than this previous high. So now what we're looking for with this pullback over the last 2 weeks and this big wick kind of giving us an indication of how low we can go without going lower and staying bullish. So kind of what we're looking for in the coming week is for Wax to stay above 2.98 cents or so, like right around the wick of this last week's candle. We can pull down to here, kind of find that support and, make a base to move up again and then give us a higher low. So then we would have our higher high followed by a higher low, which would basically be the higher high being like a signal for a reversal in the trend, with the higher low being a confirmation of that signal. Also, that higher low is like on the north side of these strength bands here right now, which again, if we do pull down to here and then find support, that support should be found right along that strength band as well. So similarly to Bitcoin, I'm looking for, confirmations for a trend reversal. Right now, Wax still has made a higher high on the weekly chart, but not a higher low. So we basically are getting first signals of a reversal without those signals having confirmation just yet. So just like with Bitcoin and the rest of the market, we have our hopes and our ideas of what will happen, but we want to have confirmation on the chart before we actually act on that stuff. So next week we'll have a more clear picture of where did this candle close, and did it close lower than the previous wick, or is it closing within this kind of range, giving us kind of like a sense of like, a bottom forming here, giving us like an early sign of maybe a higher low happening. So basically looking at the crypto market for the coming week, it's probably going to, move sideways, maybe move down a little bit, like get ready for finding support and then making a base, unless there's some kind of like, big market activity. That's kind of what the chart is saying. It's looking like for a capitulation phase here in these next few days of like, looking for people to support the new, the new price floor here and then give us a higher low. Once we get that, then we can have
is raiding. Thank you for the raid, Quadrille. Appreciate it.
Here we go. Yeah, and then we're still just looking for Wax to basically close above our purple line here. So above 4 cents is really what I want to see to give us a sense of like we're back in business, back from below this, pull back below our bear market floor. We still haven't gotten that, but we are getting very early signs that we are, testing that, or at least we'll be testing that again, because we're looking for this to make a higher low, which would then be followed again by a higher high, which would absolutely be the next test of the 4 cent resistance. So over the next probably like 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully we see that kind of a retest play out. But let's see. With all that in mind, let's jump over to the actual Wax blockchain and see what do we want to do with our actual Wax that we have. So I'm going to jump over to, I have TacoSwap and Alcor, and I'm going to log into our DeFi wallets, which is here. Open Anchor. DeFi. Oh, I put in the password. Okay, I'm in. And this one is Wax and Woof. So we still have about 100 Wax bilateral liquidity depth, which is about what we had last week too. Which we had cut down slightly to basically get this back to 100 Wax. Partly because the APR here was a lot lower than what we've were able to get on other pairs that we have since entered into. So those pairs are on Alcor. I log out over here and show that. Log in. DeFi1.ftw is our wallet. Okay, let's go to pools. Here's the 4 pools we have on Alcor. So since last week, we've been still farming Rook Ellis Wax, which I think this is the one we actually added into last week. We did that because Wax and Woof have had kind of like a divergent, trajectory for the past few weeks already. We have, before this huge downfall too, like over a couple weeks ago, we had already removed a decent amount of our exposure to the Wax Woof pool, although we definitely rode, at least with half of our liquidity, we rode down a good amount of this, which has filled our Woof side back up here. If we go to the liquidity here, our Woof side has got a decent amount of Woof in it now, 4.4 million. So if Woof is going to start to pump, especially given the buyback on TON happening in this month at some point, maybe that gives kind of like a spike in the price, and then we're basically already exposed to capture some of that activity by being in that pool. Looking at the other pools that we're in, Rook Ellis Wax, we jumped into that because unlike this pool, which if we're looking at the daily chart, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can kind of see these last 7 candles. This is what's happened to our Woof in terms of Wax over the past week. We moved like half of our liquidity last week out of this pool into the Rook LS Wax pool, and then here we are on the daily chart for that pool. And so you can see if we zoom in here and frame this a little bit nicer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's kind of where we were last week. And so this, over the past week, this pool has actually gone up in terms of Wax, while the Woofy pool had gone down in terms of Wax. So just by rotating those liquidity assets from Woofy exposure to Rook exposure, we've actually protected our Wax balance and served that Wax balance by making, that switch, which has now actually earned us some Wax. And like I said, the APR we've been earning in let's toggle the staked in Taco Swap for this Woofy pool is down to 11.3%. We still have a whole week left, so I feel like I'm still going to leave this one alone for the week. But you can see that we've switched from what we pulled out last week. We switched from getting 11% over to the Alcor farm, where we're earning a combined APR from the farm rewards here of closer to 100%, like 95% here. So, like almost 10 times better APR and a better performing asset. This turned out to be a really solid move for us to do last week. I'm also noticing here there's only 3 pools showing up in my farm, and I have 4 pools in my liquidity. That's because our LS Wax LSW pool is, well, for 1, out of range, and for 2, is expired on its rewards. So if we go to farms again and I look at the finished, you can see here this staking rewards have all ended, and so we basically have to restake that. But first, we're gonna have to rebalance it as well.
These are in Walk the Grid are asking about the EAT airdrop. Talked a little about EAT last week, but I can bring that up again when Max is done with this.
Okay,
they have a website and they have another airdrop coming in. I think 2 days. It says. There will be another airdrop in 2 days, 7 hours, 41 minutes, and 14 seconds. So,
okay.
Yeah, I have their website pulled up. I'll go over that after Max is done moving DeFi stuff around.
Sweet. That's a pretty good topic for Wax Wednesday as well. So looking back over here, here's our liquidity pools. We know we need to balance this one, but let's look at what we're still earning for our fees from. Wax Neon pool. We're still at 26 Wax on the Wax side. We started here with 25, so we're still, in profit in terms of Wax, just for having Neon be our counterpart liquidity. That's because Neon also over the course of us sitting in this pool hasn't really lost its value, much. It's pretty flat actually, which is great for us if we're just looking to farm the rewards. I would prefer flat. Obviously, I prefer everything going up in terms of wax because our goal is to make more wax. But the next best thing is flat activity, which gives us our exposure to our yield. The yield on this one's down to 37%, which is a little bit lower than what I want to look for in like higher risk asset farming. I want more like 100% is kind of where I'm at. Here we also have HCC, which is paying 44 plus this, so 50 is not bad. Let's look at what HCC is doing in terms of wax as far as price action goes, and see if we want to stay exposed to that price action for another week. So here we are on the daily chart. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like over the past week, pretty flat. With the last day, so today actually quite a bit of green in this big old green candle, big boost, which is nice. And then previously we've been coming up quite aggressively ever since we hit the what is that, the 100-day moving average on the red line here. So we did kind of have a huge spike with a huge retrace, and have since kind of found support and been moving up. So this trajectory over the past few months for HCC looks pretty solid to me, and I don't mind exposure to this, especially considering that our runway for this reward is still over 100 days. Same with Neon, back at 84 days, and then of course the Rook pool is still over 2 months of rewards as well. All of these are great. I could see us removing some from Wax Neon to pursue some higher APR rewards. And then, of course, we'd want to check back over in pools, and we want to maybe do something with the 200 wax that we have in LS wax right now. So basically what I want to do is claim all of our rewards. I'm going to leave the HCC pool alone. That one seems pretty solid. Same with the Woof pool over on Taco. I'm just going to let that ride for now. I'm going to let it keep earning Woof. I'm also just going to let the Woof that we've earned from this week, it's only 20,000. It's not going to be worth the withdrawal transaction and then a swap transaction at this amount. And if we think Woof is going to have, a burn event or something that drives its price up, then I'd rather hold on to the Woof for another week than try to swap it into some minor amount of token for the next week. And so the only thing I'm really going to do this week here is come to Alcor, come to Farms, and claim all. I'm going to start by claiming all of our LP rewards. So this is all the incentives that we were paid all week. The next thing I want to do is come to our pools and take the out of range liquidity LS Wax LSW pool, go to manage. You can see, our range was set pretty tight. 2 point, well, it's not that tight, 2.8. So let's unwind that and let's see how we can re-enter this liquidity composition most profitably. So basically what I'm saying is, how am I going to source LS Wax for LSW most efficiently? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by logging over on Wax on Edge and taking a look at what the routes currently are for making those trades. So I want to take basically half of my LSW and swap it for LS Wax. Come over here and we'll go to LS Wax. And if I do 50%, that's 103.6. And right now I would be getting 101 LS Wax. That's okay. So if I go to, let's do Wax and do 50%, 107 is what I get here. And 107, if I go to stake that, paste, I would get 101.94 LS Wax by simply staking this through Wax Fusion. So now I want to make sure that 101.94 LS Wax is not a better deal than what I'm getting for 50% of it here. So 101 it's a slightly better deal. 0.76, I would get 0.9. So I'm getting 0.2 more LS Wax, which isn't bad, but I'm also I don't know, is it worth doing multiple more transactions? Maybe it is if you have a bigger size, but I'm just gonna do this swap here just out of to conserve resources because I still need to create the pool, and I'm not sure how much more RAM I have because I only have a small amount of wax stake to this wallet. So I'm sold half of my LSW into LS Wax, and now I'm going to go back to Alcor, and I'm going to create a farm for that, or a pool. So I guess I can use the farm tab because that pool is incentivized right here. So I can just come here and say add liquidity. It's already giving me the pool I want to be in, and I want to also earn some rewards from being in a tight range. So I'm going to start by going 5 and 5. I know I have basically even parts on both sides of this, so I don't need to really do a lot of math. I just need to kind of be even. So if I do like 0.21 on this side, I know that I'm going to need to do about 0.21 on this other side as well. So now that I've done that evenly, I know that doing 103 is going to require remotely the counterpart that I need on the other side. So if I minus it, and let's minus it on both sides. So we're doing about 3% total now between both of these. Oh, and then the problem here becomes you can't be exactly on 1. You see how it's grayed this out? So let's minus that one more time. We'll do it like this. Let's see if I can. Okay, so now we're very tight in on this liquidity. Close still to even. This is what I want to do. So this is, we're only to be in here for a week. So being within 1% of that liquidity tightness should give us, a nice reward by being a big part of this pool. So now if I check on this, you can see even though we're only putting up 200 wax worth of liquidity, we now own 0.45% of the entire pool, and the entire pool is worth almost $10,000. So, we own 0.4% of this. That's like $40 worth of liquidity versus, the $6 or so that we've put into this. So by making our liquidity range super tight, we've actually, increased our pool share, which is going to increase our rewards from the fees being transacted within that price range. So just like that, we're now staked also. If I go back to our farms, we should see all 4 of our farms here and staked only. Yep. And then the last thing I want to do is probably look in the wallet and see what do we want to sell from the rewards that we just got paid. So you can see we did make Rook and LS Wax in almost even parts. And this, because our Rook and LS Wax pool is on an upward trajectory and is paying 100% APR, so it's one of our highest performing APR pools in this wallet. Let's just take both of these rewards that we've claimed this past week and compound them into the pool.
Let them ride.
Yep. Go back to the pools tab. I'm just going to say manage, increase liquidity for the existing position, and click max. And I want to make sure that this isn't asking for more than what I have in my balance, which right now is 8.86, and this wants 9.7. So, yep, I'll just click max here. And now this amount is less than what I have. You see now it only needs 1,000, and I have 1,097. Perfect. I can afford to do that. Send and success. Now I've compounded my staking rewards into my Rook LS Wax liquidity pool for next week. So all week long, those rewards that I earned from this past week are now also earning 100% APR rewards. And, more than half of the reward is paid in Wax already, which is great because that's the token I want to make in this wallet. So pretty happy about that composition. Going back to the farms now to kind of take a look at how our wallet is set up. So moving into next week, we are farming these 4 pools as well as the Wolf Wax pool on Taco Swap. And so these pools are, if we go into the farm, so these pools are paying us between 100 and about about 40 to 100% APR. And then this Wax one is only Wax exposure. So the 4% here, basically anything that we're making in this pool is a plus, because the way that this pool is set up already, if we haven't explained this today, so I'll just say it really quickly. These are both liquid stake derivatives. So if we look at the earn tab here for staking, for example, this is where you get LS Wax. So if you do 10, you can see it's not exactly 1-to-1 with 10. That's because this token increases in Wax value at a rate of about 8% APR from stake rewards that are automatically compounding into its value. The same thing is true at Wax Fusion. If we go to liquid staking, on Wax Fusion, you can see here, if I click stake, There is currently a 7.4% APR being paid into the stake rewards for LS Wax. So similar, both of these tokens having a kind of like 8% basically baked into them. And then on top of that 8% that we're earning, if I go to our pools, we're also earning from the pool, like 0.3% or 0.3 cents a day in trading fees. That's just from people paying the fees to use our liquidity. And on top of that fee, we're now also earning this 4%. So this is basically a position that is only Wax, and from being only Wax that is indexed to the Wax staking rewards and being made available for people swapping those indexed tokens on the open exchange here, we're basically able to push our APR for holding Wax exposure. So we're not just holding Wax, we're holding exclusively Wax exposed assets, but they're derivative assets. But either way, it's only a Wax exposed position. We're able to increase our APR from a staking APR of about 6 to 7% to something more close to like 13% here by being 8% plus trading fees plus trading incentives.
You should zoom in onto your screen so people can see the numbers.
Yeah. So here we have 4% on this bad boy. And then if we go to the pools, you can see on top of that 4%, I'm also earning a third of a cent every day, which doesn't sound like much, but we have to keep in mind we only have like $7 worth of liquidity in this pool, or 6.5. So a third of a cent on $6 per day is actually quite a bit. I guess rather than just calling it quite a bit, I'll just do the math really quick here. So if I do 0.0033 cents per day times 1 year worth of days, this is making me $1.20 a year. So making $1.20 on $6.50. So divided that by 650, that's about 18%. So just from trading fees, this is 18% plus the about 7 or 8% from the actual index assets, plus the 4% here. So now we're actually earning 18 plus 4 plus 8 or something, so like closer to 25-27% APR on our Wax, and it's still basically just exposed to Wax, obviously with the added risk of these indexes losing their peg, but the indexes themselves are backed by physical staked Wax, and therefore those peg losing events shouldn't last more than a few days. Basically 3 days to be exact, because that's how long it takes to unstake the Wax to re-establish the peg. So this one, I'm not worried about this APR rate being low here, because this one's not about this APR exclusively. It's about maintaining our Wax balance and growing it as aggressively as we possibly can, while not shifting the exposure to other assets that could potentially take away from a moon event on the Wax token price. So because our wallet's goal is to hold more Wax and grow the Wax balance, this is a really healthy way for us to grow our Wax exposure, again, by more than what we could by just participating in these derivative assets directly, or by participating in the staking process directly. This is a more passive way even. All I need to do here is once a week re-stake to this pool, and eventually that won't even be a thing, as this pool will become automatically re-updated once that gets updated. But yeah, so moving into next week, these are going to be the positions we keep. And we're still cooking pretty well with this. So what we did basically was claim all our rewards, compound into the Rook LS Wax pool, and then pull the liquidity from the LS Wax LSW pool and re-establish that liquidity with a new range, because our range had fallen out of range. So we actually made a tighter range of just under 2% total. And we'll see how well this range holds for us till next week. So next week, hopefully we're still in range, and we've been earning fees the entire week by bouncing within this 1% in both directions kind of range. Hopefully it doesn't move too far out of our range and cut our exposure to the trading fees. But even if that happens, we'll still be earning the staking fees, and we'll still be earning the farm incentives. So either way, relatively safe way to participate in passively earning interest on our Wax. So with all that said, yeah, let's look at the other thing that you brought up here about the next
giveaway first. I do have the Yi pulled up, but let's do another grubfish. Grab for fish forum is now open! Exclamation point neon in your Wax wallet. If you'd like to join, we'll give away 1 million woof for whoever gets in first place.
Nice. Oh, the only other thing I guess I was thinking of doing would have been like maybe making a pool in the dark matter thing because it's paying 1200% APR and its token price just took like an 80% drop after a bunch of people added to the pool. So now it's like, okay, the token price sold back off close to where it was around when I first saw that opportunity, but now there's way more liquidity in the pool, like 200,000 wax on the wax side of it compared to like 20,000 wax or something when I first got into it. So it's like 10 times deeper now, still paying a very high APR, but also it's not like we're not on the back of a huge run up right now. We're more like on the back of a big sell. So now might be a better idea to like, if we have some, spare tokens that we want to expose to a much higher risk, higher reward position, right now is not a terrible time to allocate a little bit of risk into the dark matter pool on Taco.
All right, let's do this giveaway. And look at the Yeet thing.
Yeah.
Also been some scam links going around, so I'll show that off. What that looks like, and you should not click them.
Yeah.
There's scam links for both Yeet and Woof going out. And maybe other tokens, I don't know, I'm not... I think it depends on what you hold, because I think I have Yeet in that wallet, so they sent me the Yeet scam links, and I believe if you hold Woof, they'll send you the Woof. But like, I'm not into all the meme coins on Wax, so they might be sending them for the other ones too. But I did get some. They're sending them as a. They send you a token, and then the memo is a scam link saying like, click this to claim your airdrop, and then it drains your wallet.
Yeah.
As far as I know, no token on Wax has ever been distributed through a claim link through a memo on the blockchain. So I'd just say in general, don't click links in the memo. You also got to be pretty deep into like crypto stuff to be reading the memo of like what people.
That's true. Yeah, you got to be like looking for that. You're not going to come across that on accident.
Wapaka coming in first.
Okay, I got some Yeet tokens.
I think they might be sending fake tokens too. That part I haven't gotten far enough. Like somebody might have made a new token contract, like that isn't the Yeet contract, and made fake Yeet and then sent it with the claim link. So I don't know, but maybe I don't know. The tokens are cheap enough that they could have just bought them and sent them.
Yeah,
I haven't investigated long enough to tell, but let's see.
Yeet.
I find Wapaka's wallet. I feel like I should know Wapaka's wallet by now, but it is not on the tip of my tongue.
Let's see. Is there?
Is he like Wapaka.fx or Waxpocket.fx?
I think so.
Yeah, there is Waxpocket.fx. I do know his wallet. I had to look it up while I was looking it up. I was like, he has one that's really easy, doesn't he? All right.
Have they made any pools for Yeet?
I thought we looked at that last week, and they did.
Huh.
You mean incentives or like? I'm sure trading exists. I don't know if incentives. They said 50% of the. I'll go over all this. We're not there yet.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's not jump out of turn here.
I don't know if I can send the wrong amount if I'm trying to talk about that, but yeah, 50% of the entire thing is being distributed through DeFi, or I don't know if it's that is like through rewards or just what's going into the pools, but I believe that they're making some rewards. Okay, second place was Cone Dog. Cone Dog's gonna get a 500,000. 100, 1, 2, 3. In third place, we'll get 250,000, which was a Poppin' Stock. All right, new Grubfish is up. 50, 3.
Yeah, I got almost 250,000 Yeet tokens.
All right, so here at first, before we get into this and you get excited about airdrop, let's learn how to not lose trying to participate in an airdrop. This was from the Woof server. It says, good morning, Wolfpack. Some sticky cats are trying to trick us with a fake Woof airdrop on Wax wallets. They're dropping Woof with a sketchy memo link designed to swipe your hard-earned crypto. Do not click that link. And then I will show you an example. It's also happening for Yeet, and I don't know that I have Woof in my wallet, so I'm getting the Yeet ones. But if you look on my
Huh?
Wax Block, it's like they sent me 0.19 Yeet, and it
Oh,
says waxblock.site, which is not the Waxblock, it's waxblock.com, so that's a fake website. /Yeet
.site.
to claim, and if you go there, which I'm not going to go there because I think it's scammed, and you sign with your wallet, it will drain your wallet. And I got like a bunch of those. I got the Woofy one too.
That's when you get yeeted.
They sent me 2 for Yeet, 2 for Woofy, 2 for Yeet, another one. They sent a bunch of these.
Ooh, excuse
It's
me.
also from Yeet Quest NFT, which I believe is, like the official Yeet stuff is going to be .yeet, just like the Woof should be
Yeah.
from the Woofy wallet. But these are not. These are like wallets that just some rando made to try to scam you. Let's see if the token's real. I think it should be real. Let's see my token. Probably the real token. They're sending such a small amount that I did.
Yeah.
Token.yeet. They're not sending fake tokens. That would be like the next step of give them fake tokens. I have 69,000 Woof. I don't know where I got that from. Maybe that's how much I kept. I sent most of it over to Solana. Yeah. So don't click those links. You gotta try pretty hard to find them even.
Yeah. But if you do find them, it's not real.
Yeet is having an actual airdrop, but you will not be. They're not sending them through a memo and the blockchain. They'll just airdrop them to your wallet if you qualify for them. People earlier were asking how you get there. I guess I'll just scroll down. Frequently asked questions. How do I get Yeet? Hold Wax community tokens. Liquid Stake Wax or LSW, PXJ, Woof, or one of many others. Get your favorite projects partnered up or provide liquidity and reap the Yeets. It's that easy. So, if you're holding specific tokens or providing liquidity for those tokens, that's where they target your wallet. I got Yeet because I'm doing LSW, LSWax in my wallet, I assume. And then there are partner projects, which is Pixel Journey, WaxP Tools, PFP Wizard, Alpha World, and Nima Odyssey. So the Pixel Journey token, PXJ, you're getting airdropped Yeet for that because they're a partner. So if any of these associated projects have tokens that you're holding, you can assume you potentially get an airdrop for that. I don't really know Alpha World or Nima, to be honest. I know the PFP Wizard guy was building some like tools for people in the Woof Discord, but I don't really know what his project, if it has a token or not. WaxP Tools is that index token?
Oh, I think so.
So you probably get some for index token. But yeah, you'll get it for holding the tokens, and they'll drop it right to your wallet. You're not going to have to claim anything, so do not click on links that say you need to claim it. And what is Yeet? Yeet is the latest meme coin on the Wax blockchain with a massive airdrop and LP rewards. The airdrop is happening in 2 days, 7 hours, 17 minutes, 6 seconds. Here's the roadmap. October 2024, liquidity pool farms open. 2024, partner airdrops begin. And by December, 100% of the token will be distributed. So in the next 2 months. And then in January, they're doing 1,000 PFPs, which should burn 0.05% of the Yeet supply. Each one burns that much. So what is that, 5% of the entire supply?
Let's see, how many each?
0.05 times 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's assuming people they sell out because they're probably going to charge Yeet for the profile picture. And then you probably also figure out the price.
0.05.
If 0.05% of the supply needs to buy them, that's the price to buy one. So
50% of the supply then, isn't
50%.
it?
I don't know.
Right?
I'm bad at math. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just move the decimal 2 points. Yeah.
That also assumes, that they sell out.
Yeah. That's cool. Interesting concept.
And then the NFT collection royalty, auto buyback of Yeet to burn. They're doing basically what like the Wax Ape people are doing. Well, not to burn, because they they pay it out in the treasury, but instead of paying it out, they're going to burn it. March 2025 mystery surprise. That's always great to have.
Nice, yeah.
Yeet
Mystery surprise.
PFP airdrops to top partners.
Okay.
April 2025. Yeet PFP series cost doubling to each burning 1.1% Yeet supply. And then vacation in June and July. End of roadmap in August. And Yeet anniversary in September. But yeah. So I guess it's like going to be a meme coin that buys a profile picture. So one of this project. It says Yeet is for the people by the people. Built on Wax for speed, security, and unstoppable Yeetness. No dilution, no funny business, just pure meme power. What is Yeet? Absolutely just a stupid meme coin. Yeet is a meme coin with no intrinsic value or expectation of financial return. There's no formal team, goal, or white paper, just memes. Token is for entertainment purposes only and developed by the community. And the tokenomics is 50% is going out for airdrops and then 50% for LP farms. And that's 100% of the supply is going out through airdrops and farms. And the supposed use case is to buy profile pictures that do not exist yet. That's Yeet.
That sounds like a meme coin to me. I mean, cool.
Yeah, you can maybe expect some tomorrow. And I got a bunch in my, let's see, back to Wax block. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't ape into it as far as like they're saying straight up, this doesn't have value. It's for the memes. You get it airdropped. I mean, kind of same thing as Wolf. Like,
yeah,
you can play with it, sell it, farm it. Maybe if they're going to be creating farms for it, maybe you sell 50% and then pair it with whatever it's farming, and then farm it instead of just trying to sell out of it entirely. You want some exposure to it, or you can sell it and buy stuff you want. But I don't necessarily know that I would ape into it. But I got like. You've been yeeted NFT ecosystem airdrop 3 out of 3.
Hey,
1,000 yeets. I thought I got an airdrop for holding not NFTs, but for
my. Oh yeah.
They're saying there's an imposter.
Oh.
Which we already went over. Let's see. That was the only yeet I got. I thought I got it for being in the liquidity pool, but yeah, I guess not. I thought it was because this is my wallet that has LS Wax, so maybe I'll get that in the next one. As I said, for participating in the NFT ecosystem, which obviously I was in the. Maybe that just wrote the thing wrong because I don't know that I have any of the NFTs from the partner collections.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really want to learn more, you can go to their. Where was that? YeetQuest. Yeet.quest is the website. I'll put it in the chat. And you can like join their Telegram or whatever and ask if you're really curious. I didn't do that much research. I just read what's on the website. But yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's not the worst meme coin. I feel like I like it better than like Chad and those ones that are like they burn every time you send them, and then they also have no use case or like deflation by sending the token is not a good way to create deflation. Like that's just making the token unusable. Whereas this one's like we're gonna deflate the token by releasing artwork that burns it. Like that makes more sense to me. Like that's an actual. As someone who holds the token is like, oh, if I have enough of it and I can buy PFP, I might. That's fun. I got it all for free. That's not a horrible way to participate. Whereas like if every time I send it, I lose or like try to trade or whatever, it's like, yeah, I don't want that to happen. The tokens I'm holding, like I want something real from it, not just burn it for the sake of burning it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like the biggest fan of meme coins in general, but I don't think like I don't know. The distribution is there's no team supply. 0% goes to the team, 50% airdrop, 50% through liquidity pools. So like no one really has an unfair advantage to getting it, and seems like not the worst way to distribute a token. It's not too dissimilar to what Max is doing with his token, where he's just like, yeah, I'm putting it up in liquidity, and Max isn't airdropping it, but
I'm just like messing with the liquidity pools.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know.
Ours, the best way to get ours is like from giveaways on here.
We don't do super often, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it as a distribution model. I don't know that it'll be
Right?
valuable,
Same.
but I don't know. In general, I wouldn't buy meme coins for the gains necessarily. And if you are, it's because you're gambling. But yeah, in Bach is saying most meme coins fail because they're a rug.
Yeah,
And I don't
exactly.
know that these people are going to release profile pictures. The team is anonymous. They say they don't have a formal team, so
Yeah,
maybe the
who's
profile
making them?
pictures are trash and nobody wants to buy them either. Nobody wants to waste their tokens on them. So maybe there is no deflation. Maybe they're rug. I don't know. But what I do know
Yeah,
is if you get them for free, you can't lose money on them. And if you want to participate
exactly.
in the farming, you can just sell half of whatever you got for free and then do it that way. Let's see. Let's look at the farms. Yeah, they have PXJ, Bananas Eat, Beets Eat, Stonk X Eat, Tomato Eat. All these rewards are not Eat, though.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, where's the farms that they're incentivizing? Because like these are all just community farms, I think. Also, there's not like a wax pair.
I guess is like some of these, like I know PXJ, maybe that's part of the thing to partner with them. They're like, we'll only partner with you if you put up your own reward.
Oh, maybe.
That is made up. I don't know if that's true, but that would make sense to me. If you want to get an airdrop to your community, you have to, supply liquidity.
Yeah,
I'm
that wouldn't be
making
that
that up. I'm
absurd.
not in any of the chats, nor do I have I reached out to be a partner, but I feel like that would make sense. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you really care, join their Discord or their Telegram and ask. But I'll check next week. I don't care enough. I don't have enough. I don't think to see how much I have in my wax.box or waxblock.io. I got some of my Neon Fanatics wallet too.
What are they dropping it for? Like, what do you have to have?
Any of the community tokens I said.
Oh, okay.
I
I
got
wonder if it's
significantly less
quote.
on this one, 250 plus 250. Looks like they sent it to me twice too. I don't know what's going on. Then I got all the scam ones. Damn, I got a ton of scam ones on this wallet.
Yeah. Is that
2.5 out of
good?
3. How much
Is
ETH
that
do I
good
have?
scan?
Let's see. God, I have so many tokens in this wallet. I have 45,702. So I don't know how
Not
much
bad.
that's worth. Let's check.
Not bad.
Wax on edge. But yeah, I might combine them from all my different wallets and then sell half and then farm it. That's what I did with WUF, and it turned out to work out pretty well.
Right.
Eat. We have some in our giveaway wallet. To give the wheat.
Dope.
45,000 is worth 1, 2, 3, $1.50. So honestly, not bad for
Not bad at all.
47 wax. That's an amount I don't mind like playing with. I'll probably combine all my wallets airdrops and then farm it if they do a
Right.
farm for that. And then maybe I'll get enough to buy the profile picture, and then I got a free piece of art. You probably do the math. I don't know what is the total supply. Back to
Oh
EOS
yeah, I haven't
Authority.
actually
I feel like
checked.
EOS Authority is better for checking token stuff. Go back to Neon Fanatic. Token. Eats. The circulating supply, is that a trillion?
Let's see.
1,000, 100,000, million,
Oh,
trillion.
1 billion.
Billion, sorry.
Billion. That's not so bad. That's how
That's honestly
many.
not that many.
That's how many FTW tokens exist.
Let's go to the calculator.
That's like an amount. Right now, you can get 7 yeet for 1 FTW. So, not too shabby.
Do some math here. I'm not good at my. So 500 million, is that right? Is 0.5. Oh, it should be 0.05, right?
0.05. So that would
So it'd be
be
50 million.
yeah.
the 50 million should be the cost of an NFT. If because they're
Oh, that's
saying
quite a bit.
0.05% is burned to each NFT. That to me implies that it will cost that much to buy it, and then they will burn it. So
That would
assume
be $1,700 at current market value per NFT.
that
Also,
seems
you also can't source that much Yeet token like in a single transaction. It doesn't even exist.
also, if you do want to go for that, they've only distributed 7%, and 50% is supposed to be out in
Yeah.
like the next 2 months. So I would wait until the supply is out there because
Yeah.
prices, supply and demand. The demand might not change, but the supply certainly will go up. So should lower the price. I don't know. I'll
Yeah.
keep an eye on it, but I don't know.
Unless I guess the demand also explodes.
I don't think there's that many people on Wax doing stuff.
No, me
Realistically.
neither. I added the stuff I got airdropped. I paired it with FTW, and we'll see how it goes. Worst case scenario, I lose about 1 million FTW tokens that I paired with, that's fine. I can live
You'll
with
get
that.
yourself a profile picture.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Worst case scenario, I lose $4 worth of my own token.
Also,
And
coming back to Apaka's thing, worst meme coins fail because they're a rug. I also think meme coins don't have intrinsic value, so even if they aren't a
Yeah.
rug, like what the value is exclusively driven by hype, like hype fades. So like
yeah,
most meme coins fail because they don't have a purpose, I would say. Even if they aren't a rug, like why should people keep trading them forever? And how many it's like, oh, it's for memes and community. It's like how many of those can exist in crypto, like, and still like
right.
hold value over time? So I think
Yeah, it's a tall order.
there's lucky ones like Doge, but I think Doge is the fucking TLM of Wax and not coin of Ton, where it's like no one's ever going to be as successful as Doge. Like, just like no crypto really has ever passed Bitcoin in value. Like, first mover advantage is just doing that. I feel like Dogecoin is the king of meme coins, but I don't know. Obviously, there's been other successful ones, but I do think long term, like, we've been in crypto long enough to see that, like, if you diversify in all the new hype stuff, like, it's not going to work as well as just holding the blue chip stuff. Like, if I just stayed in Bitcoin when I first bought it instead of buying like everything else, I'd probably be doing better than I was right now. Like, all of the playing around with other shit has not been as good as just buying and holding Bitcoin.
Yeah, definitely. That's true. Even if I had just like stuck with just the initial Bitcoin from like 10 years ago and not ever messed with anything else, you would have been better off.
Which is, I don't know, it's fun to engage with this stuff. So it's like
I would
hard
know a
to.
lot less. I would know a lot less about how it works if I had done that.
True, but yeah, I guess
Yeah.
learn from experience that like there's a lot of hype stuff and like very rarely does it pan out long term. And like
Yeah.
stuff happens in crypto so fast that it's like, and it also depends on what's your goal. Is your goal to hold it for 10 years? Because I don't think most people buying meme coins are trying to hold it for 10 years. They're trying to fucking dump on the next person and get out quickly. And that's honestly the way to do it. You don't want to be holding one of these. Same with like all the clickers on Wax. Whoever got out early did great, and anybody who stuck around got burned. So like, if that's your goal, maybe that's not the worst thing to enter. But I don't know. I like crypto as a long-term investment, and I feel like the main purpose of Bitcoin is like inflation hedge and like to buy something that's less like holds its value and like it's
that's
store of
definitely
value. And that's not
that's
what most
definitely
of these other coins purposes are, and nor have they proven that they can do it in the same way that Bitcoin can. And yeah, you're not going to get a 2,000% increase on Bitcoin like you did for TLM, but again, that's like what's your goal? And also that's like that's literally like winning the lottery as far as like the amount of tokens you could have bought that didn't have a 2,000% increase. Like spread yourself so thin that you'll probably lose whatever increase you got invested in TLM if you try to like buy every new token, which is sort of what happened to me on Wax, buying every new NFT project and aping into it and being like, oh, I'm going to be the next R Planet next. It's like eventually it just that didn't work, and I just lost everything I made on the one time I got lucky. So it's like
meme
coins are the same thing.
1 in 5,000 tokens makes a 2k, like a 2000x profit for the buyer. So it's like if you're just buying every token out there, then you're losing 5,000 for making 2,000. Like sure you'll hit it, but like you spread yourself so thin, you're not gonna get. That's like, I don't know. A lot of people have that approach too of like I can just pick, like I can sniff out the like good ones. It's like unless you're the one pumping the price, you really can't. Like because it's not about quality like teams or any of that stuff. It's literally just about who's got money to pump into this stuff. But I do agree with Rock Metal. The experience you learn by losing money participating in these markets is valuable. It's like the cost of tuition almost. Like tuition is not cheap, but man, I don't make those mistakes anymore. And I've told many people how to avoid making those mistakes. It's honestly doesn't seem like it's something you can tell somebody. They have to kind of like learn for themselves, make those mistakes, and then eventually they'll get over it. But
I mean, most people don't want to be told that you should
yeah,
hold a somewhat stable asset for 10 years. Like people are like,
yeah,
I want to get
exactly.
rich overnight because that's what's being hyped through the community. I honestly think crypto communities do a lot of damage to crypto as far as like people have very unrealistic expectations and like the like moonshot stories that people share are just super unrealistic and not the expectation anybody should have for crypto.
Yeah,
But it's just like the whole like diamond hands, hodl, never sell. Like that's also super bad. Like you
yeah,
should absolutely lock in gains if you're making money. Like
yeah. Or
mo-
cut losses. Like that whole idea of like you not lost anything until you've sold is insane. It's just like, what do you mean? You have lost. You've lost almost everything. You just haven't realized it into like a permanent loss, but it's already a
some things
loss.
never recover. Like
Yeah,
the theory that it'll eventually recover is not true in many, many, many cases. Like maybe
yeah,
like for Bitcoin, I would say if you if you buy Bitcoin at the peak of the bull market and if you wait another 4 to 6 years, it'll probably come back. But that's
sure.
Bitcoin. Like that's not gonna happen for your fucking rug pull project that has no developer and is just
Yeah, I guess if you are gonna approach trading with that mentality of like I haven't lost anything until I've sold, then you should also flip that to I haven't gained anything until I've sold. So when you see your portfolio's up a whole lot, like you shouldn't be excited because it's actually nothing, right? Just like you shouldn't be upset that you've lost money because you haven't actually lost it, right? So like as long as you're not approaching it with like a two like a duality of like, oh, like when I'm winning it's winning, but when I'm losing it's not real losing until I sold. As long as you don't have like a double standard like that, consistency. That helps.
I think
But
there's a lot of nonsense in crypto and a lot of people
yeah,
don't know what they're
and
talking about and pretty much put out
overwhelmingly,
dangerous information for people that don't know what they're doing.
from what I talked to someone recently about it who like was like, oh, I heard about like Bitcoin and crypto, but isn't it basically like failed as a currency? Like you can't, it costs like $20 to send a transaction in Bitcoin, so like you couldn't buy your coffee with it, which is like sure, but you could just use USDC. Like why would you want to use Bitcoin to buy coffee if Bitcoin is like a digital store of value? How often are you using your gold bars to buy coffee? But at the same time it's like someone
Buzz
who
King
is
is our winner.
someone who has such a tertiary like understanding of like Bitcoin and crypto then extrapolates that idea of, oh, Bitcoin has failed as a day-to-day currency to crypto as a technology has failed as a day-to-day currency, and that's just not the case. Like while Bitcoin isn't a good cash solution or alternative, that doesn't mean crypto doesn't offer good cash alternatives. But yeah, I don't know. All that stuff is also like most of the time when I have a conversation like with a person who has that opinion, I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, interesting. Like I don't know. Like I'm not trying to like explain to them. It's not like, oh, let me educate you right now. Let's get into a lecture here. It's more just like, okay, interesting take. You do what you want, and I'll continue doing what I want. Because that's kind of like the main thing I like about the whole like crypto thing. Is just like I don't need to sell you on this shit. Like I might be excited about it, but if you don't trust it or whatever, then you shouldn't fuck with it. It doesn't need you to get involved for me to succeed with what I'm doing, you know? Because it's not a meme coin and I don't need you to buy my bags. Like, yeah.
Oh, we got a new
But-
form up for new Grubfish giveaway. Smash went on your Wax wallet. This will probably be the last one. Probably wrap up the stream
Yeah.
soon here.
I was in first. Oh no, I was in second. Mocha beat me.
I got some stuff I gotta work on. This is a new song I can play. Almost finished a new song yesterday.
Yeah.
Ari, old Dr. Television. It doesn't have the vocals yet that people want to hear. Instrumental of what. Imagine
Yeah.
this, but with vocals that you don't.
I like what Rock Metal's saying. It's reminding me of what you said the other day about seeing like the hamster combat in the Netflix documentary. It's like because it is all digital and it's such a niche thing. Like stuff can be so like goofy and off the like walls and seem insane, and then people who don't know anything about it just like think that that's what the entire industry is. So then you have like excerpts of someone like, "I saw you tapping a picture of a hamster and money was coming out of it," and the guy
wonder
being
if
like, "This
that's on.
that's," he's like, "That's crypto."
Wonder if
It's like,
we
this
can
is
find
not
that Tim
some
Dillon
nonsense.
hamster combat. I feel like
That's such a
somebody in
funny-
their
I haven't-
community has to have.
I haven't seen it, but the way you described it sounds hilarious.
This is your country. This is your country. Crypto or NFT probably. Confessing to his wife. Netflix is a joke. I'll put this on or off the rails for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good one for that.
I don't know if it'll have the whole thing because there's like a 10-minute segment and they probably won't show you the whole thing.
I just want to hear the wife talk about her perspective of seeing it. Like he's clicking a picture of a hamster and money's
I don't
coming
know
out
that
of it.
it'll get that far. That's like
That's too
not
bad.
the main thing. The main thing is that he bought like a Bored Ape derivative
Oof.
and then somehow lost $200,000 on holding his NFTs. But then he's like, "Don't worry, like I'm in this new thing called shitcoins." And he's like, when we were on the way here, he's fucking tapping this hamster in his car, and he's like, "Yeah, that's hamster combat. It's gonna be huge." Just like, God, like me being involved with this makes me feel bad about myself because seeing it from
Yeah.
like a third party perspective, it's like this guy's a fucking lunatic. But I also don't think that never thought hamster combat was gonna make me rich.
Yeah.
It's more like this is a dumb thing. Let's see what happens.
Same. It blows my mind how many people like expect to be paid like a living wage or something from doing these clickers. I mean, even in the like Woofy Discord, I see people like, "This game is dead because my airdrop wasn't worth like more than, you know, like my job pays or something like that," which is like,
That show's fun though. I would definitely.
it sounds fun.
They also have like it's like a Jerry Springer style show where like they bring out a person who has a thing and then they bring out like a family member or relative or somebody that's like they bring out one guy who's like a professional masseuse and then he reveals to his girlfriend that he does OnlyFans and she was like unaware of it and she's like, "What, you did porn?" And then he talks about it and I don't know. It's supposed to be like a political. Netflix was like, "We'll pay you to do a political special on our platform like before the election." He was like, "I'd rather just talk to people with different beliefs and like have them argue rather than like actually like bring up specific politicians or like policies and stuff and just be like, I want to show how different people are in America." And he found some pretty
Yeah.
interesting people. Another one was like an immigrant that wants to leave. It's like someone who's like immigrated from Mexico and has been working here and has like kids here and is like, "I want to go back to Mexico because America's going to shit." And then they like bring in people to try to convince him to stay in America and why is America's great. And one of them is a furry in a costume. Just like
Great.
it's like the mashups he's putting in there are very strange, but I enjoyed it as a thing. It's definitely like, I don't know. It's not really political as far as like, I think it's better. I'm gonna play this song that I'm working on though.
Yeah,
It's called.
sick.
I actually don't. I think heating it up. I think is what we're gonna call it. I haven't labeled as it we're heating it up, but Ari calls it heating it up. See if it plays. I can also show you the demo version. You can do both. Maybe I should do the demo first.
Yeah, and see how far it's come.
There's no vocals in the. There's no vocals in my version. I'm sending it to Ari to re-sing it, and the demo is pretty much exclusively vocals. So let's see. This might only be the vocals. Let's see what this is. Fuck is none of this playing?
So I don't hear it yet.
Just giving me like a white screen.
Why would you try to spend the summer without me? I see you reading on the beach alone.
Give me a second. Max can't hear this. Max can't hear it.
Yeah, it's very quiet right now.
Coming through my mic. I'm not sharing my computer audio through Discord, but
There you go.
check. Now it should be. All right. Nope, not voice changer. There we go. Now you should be able to.
Why would you try to spend the summer without me? I see you reading on the beach alone. I have a vision, baby, though it is cloudy. You and me, honey, we can buy a boat. Now we're heating it up, but you're reading that book. I'll throw that book into the ocean. You could try me out for what? I love the way that you can boil up the ocean. I love the way the bubbles touch my skin. You know I'm burning up and I am with you, babe. And each time I touch you, I wanna get singed again. You're 103 degrees, baby, you're the sand in my teeth. Honey, you're all that I need, and you're heating it up.
There's like a guitar solo slash oud part.
Now we're heating it up, and you're reading a book. I throw that book into the fire. We can try it out for us. I don't wanna share you with nobody. Baby, when I'm with you, it's a heat wave. Baby, you're 103 degrees. Baby, you're the sand in my teeth. Honey, you're all that I need, and we're heating it. Baby, you're 103 degrees. Baby, you're the sand in my teeth. Honey, you're all that I need, and we're heating it up. We're heating it up. We're heating it up. We're heating it up. We're heating it.
Yeah, that's the demo. He also changed the lyrics since then, now that I'm listening to that. And then I'll play the instrumental part that I wrote for it. Also, Zolid Network iJats said in our Discord chat, I wouldn't say that Bitcoin has failed as a day-to-day currency. With Lightning Network or even Fedmint, Cashew, etc., it's very easy to use for any purchase, sometimes for 50 cents an item. If Bitcoin isn't held until reach $1 million, the miners will not receive any fee anymore, except from Ordinal's ecosystem. This is I need to change. Sorry, they can't hear you right now. That's why I have it as. All right. You should be able to hear.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Can you
yo,
guys hear
yo.
Max now?
Yo, 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 yo. Oh, I can hear myself too. Like echoing into myself. But if you can hear me, I was just saying that like while it could work with Lightning Network and stuff to buy groceries and coffee and stuff, Bitcoin would make a shitty day-to-day currency for like business transactions. Like if you're trying to like negotiate some kind of contract deal or do some kind of business that has like milestone payouts or half up front, half on the back end, and then during the course of the actual activity or service being rendered, the price of your currency is changing like 2 to 4%. It makes doing business like not possible yet. So I'd say like it's failed in that sense to be like a day-to-day currency, but it's also not like, again, I feel like Bitcoin is much more of a store of value than it is a currency, especially without things like the Lightning Network or like the ordinal system on top of that, which is like layer 2 stuff built on Bitcoin. The Lightning Network's cool, but it's also limited. I mean, the times I've used it, it's cheap. It's cheap and it's pretty quick, but it's not as quick as like tapping my Visa card. And I feel like for a new system to replace an existing system, it doesn't just have to be better, it has to be way better. Like there's a lot of better shit out there that isn't like the majority market share thing, and it's because for something to actually take market share and replace an existing system, it has to not just be better, it needs to be like better, faster, easier, cheap. Like it has to be better on like every fucking level, and it definitely is not yet. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin and long-term like bullish on that stuff, but I do think I wouldn't use it as a day-to-day currency, and I know how. And if I opened like a business selling groceries and stuff, I would accept it as a novelty, not as like this is easier for me. It's more like this might attract people who are excited about cryptocurrency to use, or at the very least come and take pictures of my business and post them on Instagram or something. But I wouldn't be like, I'll accept crypto because it's a benefit for me as the business owner or some sort of thing like that. And I feel like until that's the case, we're going to need things to improve before it gets to that kind of adoption. Still,
right.
there's ways to use crypto. Yeah. I mean, crypto's great. I buy shit with it all the time.
I'm going to launch this giveaway, and then I'll play the demo. Another demo.
Digital gold. Yeah. Digital gold is a decent analogy.
We got lots of backpacks and trails going on today. Love to see it. I love the Crabfish cosmetics. It's one of my favorite things on Wax.
I still only see the one red trail.
We got a pink trail with pink headphones. We got a green trail. We got a blue trail. I need to start entering these. Show off my grub.
Right, that's why I'm there. My guy's just coming up and down.
I'll enter. We'll do one more so I can show off
Going up.
I think I have green and pink everything. I think I have a pink trail, green backpack, and green headphones, but...
This is it. Red grub now.
Final 3. Rock Metal is our winner.
Wow, he's done it. It's karma for calling everybody else's grub fancy.
I think Rock Metal is going to be streaming Nova Rally soon too. I put Rock Metal in contact with Sammy. Sammy said he'd send over a code. There's some sort of update happening this week too for Nova Rally, so maybe we'll try that out.
Nice. That game also came a long way.
I think it's pretty fun now.
Yeah.
Not really blockchain related anymore, but it's birthed from Wax, so. And eventually you should be able to use your cosmetics from Wax in it, but that doesn't currently exist. 6. Honestly, compared to what most people did with clickers on Wax, even just making a functional game is like better than 99%.
Yeah, agreed.
Also is like not sustainable what he's doing, which you just like, yeah, like all these tokens and stuff, like this just isn't ever going to like leave the super small niche audience. If you want to make something that people actually play, it has to be not all on chain, which I feel like the Marble game does pretty well now. It has on chain cosmetics, but you don't have to like buy tokens on a blockchain to be able to play it, which you did for Nova Rally, which didn't make any sense. Trying to like onboard new users.
Yeah.
Alright, one more giveaway. I'm going to play this other demo. You all heard the singing version. This is without the singing because Ari's redoing the singing. I should have bounced it with the vocals just to listen to, but only on my computer. Such an abrupt ending right now. Yeah, that's instrumental so far. I need to re-record the guitar during one section. Sounds. I think re-record the bass during the bridge. And close.
That one guitar riff reminds me of Crazy Train.
Which one?
The like dun, 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 going off the rails on the crazy train. It's like the dun, 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 like a little pre-chorus riff that happens, I think. Yeah, that. Yeah,
Guitar
it's
is
just
another
those like
one.
it's just those three notes that yeah that.
Crazy Train's like probably shouldn't be playing that. We might get fucking copyright striked for that. They're getting worse on that for covers. It used to be like you had to play the recording, but now like I sang a song and I got flagged for singing the melody of a song, so I got to do that for tomorrow. But oh, now I'm remembering. It's like.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah,
I was
I don't know.
imagining No More Mr. Nice Guy. That's true too. I could hit that kind of the do 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 do.
Rock Metal is asking, is something going to go in that big pause? I don't know which big pause you're talking about, but there's going to be vocals over all of that, so most likely. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Mr. Crowley. Mr. Crowley, that you had in my head. No more Mr. Nice Guy, is that Alice Cooper?
No.
Or is that
Is it?
Ozzy?
It could be Alice Cooper.
I think it is. No more Mr. Is it Mr. Clean? I don't know if I even know the word.
Clean, no more Mr. Nice Guy. No, 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 no.
Alice Cooper's got like 5 good songs. Alice Cooper's like not my favorite artist. I don't know. He's like a weird like. I feel like he was like more famous for his show than he was for his music, but he did have a couple of hits.
Yeah. His good songs are really fucking good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other one. School's Out is the big one.
Yeah.
And then what's the other one? He has something about being young or something. 17, is that him? I don't know. We're getting off the rails, but let's look it up.
Yeah.
Alice
he's
Cooper.
Not Mother, is he? Like, Mother, tell your children not to come
18.
my way.
I was saying 17. I'm 18 and I never. I feel like School's Out. 18. Mr. Nice Guy. Honestly, there was Poison. Poison's him too, right?
Is it?
Yeah. I know it from like
Oh.
it got famous as being an EDM song for our childhood.
Oh.
Oh, it came out in 89. Cover versions. The Groove coverage, that must be the famous one. Love me, but your lips are poison. It was like a fucking like European EDM song. This is where I first heard it. Then when I heard Alice Cooper, I was like, oh shit, that's where this came from.
I don't know if I knew that one. I'll have to go
I only
off the
found
rails
out
into this.
that out when I was trying to make sure that it was some name. I think Mama or whatever was who. The first Omen on Netflix was so bad. I recommend you don't watch it. Then I won't. Actually, I need to get back into my horrors. I took a few days off the horror films after watching a bunch of them, but I want to see the Terrifier 3 now because like it's getting so much hype on the internet.
I watched The Substance. That one was fun.
That's in theaters right now, right?
Yeah, it's in theaters. It's like the one where people like take the substance and then become like a younger version of themselves, and then they have to like switch back and forth with like their like old body and back into their young body every 7 days, and it's pretty good. Pretty good. Fun premise. It definitely like jumps the shark by the end and is insane, which is fun too. Like
I don't mind that in a horror movie. Horror movies are never Danzig. Danzig is the lead singer of the Misfits. Or horror themed band, really. Mother, tell your children not to hear my word. You wanna find hell with me. That song's badass. I used to cover that in my metal band. Played bass on it.
That one has a cool riff too, right?
The
Omen on Netflix. Okay, I saw The Omen, like the old one with Damien being like the adopted kid who like is the son of the devil or something, and that one was fine. I don't know. Like, I feel like satanic stuff is usually not that scary, and The Omen, I think, does it pretty well for that topic. I haven't seen the new one that you're talking about, and I'm not surprised that it's total trash.
I think the Misfits logo is more famous than the band at this point.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Kind of like the Ramones. Like, people wear Ramones shit that don't listen to the Ramones, like the Misfits thing kind of like became cooler. They used to like fucking dress all crazy though. This is what the band looked like.
Yeah, that's like face paint.
Their lead
I like
singer
that, but
was known
Okay.
for having, holy shit, this is a bad quality image. The Devil Lock, which is where like you have really long hair in the front. I believe it's called a Devil Lock. Why is that so small? Devil Lock haircut. Yeah,
I
it
like
comes
that,
up with the Misfits as the top image. Yeah, I feel like they're pretty influential to like punk style.
yeah.
And Danzig was the original lead singer of the Misfits, and then he went solo. He was also in a band called Sam Hain. My neighbor, that's funny. They put Ed from friggin' 90 Day Fiancé saying he's Danzig.
That's funny. I could see that if he really time was cruel to him.
Ed was like would they show him when Ed was younger? Is he just Ed 90 Day Fiancé young? Like, he was actually like a hunk when he's younger. Like, he had a neck. Look at this. Look at this man with a neck when he was young.
And you look like the same guy.
Yeah, he's like unrecognizable. People were surprised when they found his young photos. They're like, oh, he's actually like a pretty good looking dude. To show you, not everybody ages equally.
Nah, dude.
But Misfits, if you're looking for some Halloween music, I feel like Misfits, they make good stuff. Like, Misfits, all their songs are pretty. We can play some tomorrow for Off the Rails. I don't want to get flagged for this video, but I can read some titles of their songs.
I like how Buzz King also included Hocus Pocus 2 into his list of scary movies he has to get back into. He's like, I'm excited to get back into scary movies this month, and then the next thing he says is like, I need to watch Hocus Pocus 2.
See some of their song titles: Dig Up Her Bones, Last Caress, Astro Zombies, Scream, Skulls, Halloween, Where Eagles Dare. Like, pretty much all their songs are like horror themed.
They're pretty good. Halloween.
Shout out Alice Phoebe Lou. She's showing up in her song Witches. They used that in I was already a fan of her before, but they used it in what's that superhero show on Netflix? Or not Netflix, on Amazon? Invincible, the cartoon. They used it on the good. Like Adam Eve, her special. Like, when they did like the special episode after either the second or third season, it was like a standalone special for her origin story. When she's like figuring out how to use her power, they play the song Witches by Alice Phoebe Lou, and it's a fantastic use of that song in media. And also, shout out Alice Phoebe Lou. She's a great artist.
Nice.
Isn't Hocus Pocus like a Disney movie?
Yeah, it's so fun. It's like with the Sanderson sisters. What was it? The first movie was like the whole town starts to get like bewitched by the witches that came back after like 100 years because somebody lit a candle in like the old witch museum, and then they're trying to like lure all the children to like suck their youth out and like extend their own lives by like sucking the youth out of children. It's a fun premise, but it's very like silly, and it's a kids movie from like our youth, and they made a sequel to it.
Halloween, not for horror.
Yeah. But in your comments, you were like, I'm excited for scary movies. And then the next comment was like, I gotta watch Hocus Pocus 2 still. So it just, I just was rereading the chat, and I was like, oh, that's funny. And you're like, excited for scary movies this month. I still gotta watch Hocus Pocus 2.
Putting it up there really Are You Afraid of the Dark on that list?
Yeah, you definitely gotta watch it.
Are You Afraid of the Dark legitimately freaked me out as a kid, though. And Goosebumps used to freak me out.
The Goosebumps, I was going to say.
I used to read Goosebumps before going to sleep and then have nightmares about them, and it did not, like, I just keep doing it. I had to at some point stop because it was like, reading them. I was dreaming scary shit from Goosebumps every night.
Yeah, that's funny.
Goosebumps
Yeah.
they were the jam though when I was young. Like I read a lot of those. Like I feel like you could rent them at like the school library. I don't remember owning them, but I remember reading like a lot of Goosebumps. We even had like a couple of the VHS. I think those were made for TV movies. I don't think those were ever in theaters, but they had like VHS Goosebumps, like The Man in the Tower or something, and we used to have those on VHS and watch them.
Yeah. Where Rock Metal is saying in the chat, you've gotten to see Gwar live. Gwar, wasn't that band at Bumper Shoot that like crowd surfed in the trash
No.
can and was
Or like dresses up as monsters and they like shoot like blood. I think they might shoot semen on people too, out of like dicks and stuff. The whole thing about gore is you're supposed to go wearing a white shirt, and if you're in like the front row, you come out with like how many different colored liquids they spray on you.
Oh, that's fun.
Gore is like they're like Kiss, but the next level of Kiss. They're like a shock rock band, but they wear crazy devil demon outfits. Like this is Gore.
Remember we saw some insane show at like
That
Bumper
was
Shoot that got
Monotonics,
canceled. Like,
I believe.
okay, yeah.
Monotonics is like a
canceled,
Middle Eastern band where the guy shoves a microphone up his butt.
Oh, this. I don't know if I ever saw these guys live, but this looks nuts.
Their music is honestly not that great. Music, like I'd say like 5 out of 10. Their stage show is supposed to be awesome, and their makeup's really cool. I don't know. Maybe you like their music. I'm not a huge fan of their music. I feel like they definitely made it because of a gimmick. Whereas like Kiss has good songs. Like Kiss has a bunch of hits. They're good songwriters. Maybe not even the best musicians, but like their music holds up without the costumes. If you like them, another cool band that's kind of like them and less campy, because Gwar is not only like they don't take themselves seriously. They're a very campy band. If you want like a more serious version of them, Lordi or is like the other version. I saw Lordi live at Ozfest. Let me get a fucking larger image of them. Why is everything so small? But they have crazy makeup. Their lead singer is a special effects artist. God, it's so... How do I sort by
tools? On the top under tools, you can set it to large images.
Large. Like why? It says that's large though. That shit ain't large. I just opened it. Tiny.
Huh. Yeah, that's tiny.
Better way to do it.
That's how I used to do it, but
maybe I have to research.
It used to also like have a like you can be like show me only stuff over 4K or something. But that search seems to have gotten different now.
There we go.
There we go, yeah.
I think the lead singer said it takes him like 3 hours before every concert to do his makeup, but he was like he did like blood effects and stuff for horror movies and like monster makeup before he got into doing it, but they're kind of like Kiss meets Gwar. They make kind of like campy arena rock. I liked them though. Their guitar player dresses up as a mummy. They also have like flamethrowers at the end of their instruments, so that's kind of like what's that German band Rammstein? They would do that shit. Lordi Pyrotechnics. I don't know if I spelled that right. Yeah, they like.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure this image is gonna be fucking so small. God. Yeah, the guitar on the end of each guitar they have it, and then the lead singer has an axe. And the battle axe, you'll spin it, shooting sparks and fire and stuff. They put on a cool live show. I don't even know if they're still around, but I liked this band when I was in high school. They're a Finnish hard rock and heavy metal band. Lordi are known for wearing monster masks and using horror elements with pyrotechnics during concerts and music videos. The band rose to fame in 2002 with their hit single Would You Love a Monster Man and won Eurovision in 2006 with their song Hard Rock Hallelujah. Their music videos are fucking sick though. Like if you're looking for Halloween stuff and you don't know this band, because the guy like worked in horror before this, they have very like fully produced horror music videos. Their music's super cheesy though, I'll throw that out there, where it's like I'd say they take themselves more seriously than Gwar, but that doesn't make it. It's still pretty fucking like campy.
Yeah.
We have this on mute. I'll play for a second. Yeah, they have like they hire like actors and actresses and like make horror stuff in the music video. And those are like the band members as themselves as monsters.
That's pretty fun, actually.
If you like Gwar, maybe check out Lordi.
Yeah, dope.
They were actually my favorite band when I went to Ozfest. That I was like, I'd never heard of them. Their stage show was so cool that I was like, okay, I'm gonna go look at their music when I get home. Trying to think of who else headlined. I mean, I think it was either Black Sabbath or Ozzy played. They're definitely like a highlight. And then
Yeah.
Static X was one of the headliners, and I was like, yeah, I'm not into Static X. Static X is weird, like industrial rock. We also had Lamb of God was one of the headliners. They're pretty good, but not my favorite. Like, I was more into the cheesy, campy stuff. That's like, oh, this sounds like freaking like 80s hair metal plus monsters. That's what I'm looking for. I think I think it was Black Sabbath. I think that Ozfest Black Sabbath reunited, and it wasn't Ozzy solo. I saw Ozzy solo separately. That was a fun concert too. I got it for donating canned food to like the KISW 99.9 like Rock Drive or something. It was like, if you drive down here and donate enough cans, we'll give you free tickets to go see Ozzy. And they were like the worst nosebleed seats. It's like, okay, that's why these are free, but I still had fun.
Yeah.
I remember skipping school to go donate because like the time you had to donate was in the middle of the day, so I just like didn't go to class for the second half of the day and like drove with my buddy Carter. Shout out Carter. We drove down and friggin' got ourselves some Ozzy tickets. That show was fun. That one had
Nice.
a Rob Zombie opening. Rob Zombie has a really cool stage show. He has a lot of like, they had like big like monster. I don't even know what you'd call them, but like they had big stage props.
Oh yeah, that's fucking dope.
I used to see a lot of metal
Kind of
stuff.
like
Iron Maiden
like
also had a
Iron
cool.
Maiden. I was gonna say they had a crazy.
They had like a bunch of
prop.
different sets, and like Bruce Dickinson had like 9 costume changes. He was just like constantly
Yeah.
changing, running around with a flag at one point. Bruce Dickinson, that guy's in like such good shape. Like the amount he ran around while like singing operatic style vocals is like, I'd be so out of breath like doing any of the stuff he did, especially with like how big he sings. He's not doing like whisper sings. He's freaking belting. Lordi won the Eurovision contest. Yeah. I heard about them after that. I think after they won the Eurovision competition, that's when they got into Ozfest. You can probably look it up. I'm sure they exist. Lordi Ozfest. Let's see what year I went to Ozfest. 2007. Let's see if I was right about it being Black Sabbath. It was Ozzy. It wasn't Black Sabbath. It was Ozzy Osbourne, Lamb of God, Static X, Lordi, and Black Tide. So I don't think Black Tide was there when I went, but it said that started on August 10th. And I remember not liking a lot of the other stuff that was on like the other stages. Hatebreed, Behemoth, Devil Driver, Nile, Ankla, The Showdown, 3 Inches of Blood. It was all like way too heavy for me. Like,
Yeah.
I was into more like new wave of British heavy metal. Maybe I never saw Black Sabbath. I swear Black Sabbath was at one of these. Black Sabbath was in Ozfest Japan 2013. I was definitely not there. They played in 2005. Maybe I just heard about that. No, Iron Maiden was there that year. I remember reading that like Sharon Osbourne was unplugging the amps of Iron Maiden during this because they were outstaging Ozzy and Black Sabbath. Like they're putting on a better show, so they were like sabotaging it. I don't know how true that was, but back on my early day of music forums, I remember reading that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this last giveaway and call it a stream. Tomorrow we can get into horror rock. We can look at Gwar videos and
It's Halloween
Lordi.
almost.
They won in 2006. So yeah, they must have like gotten popular from Eurovision and then gone to Ozfest. That must have been my like sophomore year of high school. Is that right? When do you get your
Yeah.
driver's license? I had to have had my car because I was driving from school to there to go do it. That makes sense. Sophomore year of high school, because junior I was in running start, so I wouldn't have been skipping class. I would have just done whatever the fuck I wanted
Yeah.
because I was a running start. That's what I was doing sophomore year of high school, going to Ozfest. Or if they still do Ozfest. I don't know. I don't listen to metal that much anymore, so I'm not. I remember that being a good time.
Yeah, same.
Seeing Iron Maiden was fun. We saw them at like the White
Iron
River
Maiden was-
Amphitheater, I think it was.
Yeah, that was dope.
We created a mosh pit in the fucking.
In the fucking nosebleeds.
Yeah,
in the
because
general
it was in like a
admissions.
grass field. It wasn't even like.
Yeah, it wasn't
seats.
even part of the seating.
We
Which
got
I
kicked out of the
prefer.
mosh
It's
pit for
dope.
that because for Dream Theater, who was the opener, Carter, my friend Carter and I, we like just jumped in and like went into the actual paid seating, but we like hopped over the fence from the back. We didn't go through like thing where the ushers. And at some point, like people were like, "Hey, these are our seats," and then we're like, "Okay," so we just like went and stood in the aisle and like the mosh pit area. And at some point, someone's like, "Where's your tickets?" We're like, "Get the fuck out of here! You guys are not supposed to be down here." But
That's funny.
for a
Where's
short
your
period of
tickets?
time, we felt like we paid more. Iron Maiden was super good. They're like one of the better live metal bands I've seen.
Yeah.
They're a well-oiled machine. I think at the time they had 3 guitars too. For a while, I don't know most of their career, but Iron Maiden had 2 guitarists, and then their like main guitarist was like, "Hey, I want to go try some solo shit," and then he did that, and then it was not successful. Oh, I won. And then he came back to Iron Maiden. Instead of firing the guy that replaced him, there was like, "We got 3 guitarists now." So they had fucking like triple guitar solos and stuff.
That's kind of badass though.
I also think it's cool that they didn't like kick out the new guy because the new
Yeah.
guy had been there for years. So they're like, "3." They got Steve Harris on bass, one of the best metal bass players. He also writes almost all their music, which is I think rare for metal bands. Normally the guitar players write it. So Smack Daddy is getting first because I can't send myself woof. Is it only 4 letters? I didn't know you could have that short of a wham. That'd be cool.
That is cool. I didn't know that either.
Drew Marr is in second. You'll get 500,000. Yeah, we'll be streaming tomorrow. I'm excited to see people have horror. I liked watching horror movie trailers last week, so maybe we'll do that again. Is that movie out where is like that person that was doing like claymation shit that turned into a horror film?
Oh,
Pop and
I don't
Stock
think
won
so.
again. Pop and Stock's won 3 times today. What a lucky guy. That movie
Rigged.
looked fun though. I'd watch that. That was such a recent run that it might like I don't know. I feel like if you're in theaters anytime this year and you're not releasing your horror movie before Halloween on streaming, you're fucking up. But it might be like you have to pay for it. It's not on a streaming service.
Yeah, I don't know if that's out yet. But yeah,
That too, it could
they're
also
missing
be in
the
theaters.
Halloween. I thought
Sophomore.
that.
Oh, sophomore is what I was saying. It's like SOPH. Sophomore, at least it's different in Europe because they just say like grade 11 or whatever. Or like year 11, I think is what European or British people say. Sophomore is just your second year of high school, which high school is like in America it goes like elementary school, just grades 1 through 5, then it goes middle school, which is grades 6 through 8, and then it goes high school, which is grades 9 through 12. In your second year, grade 10 of high school is called your sophomore. It goes freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. I don't know if I spelled this right. Is there an O after soph and sophomore? Oh, soph.
I'm not sure. I'm terrible at spelling.
Sophomore, there is no. Second year of college or high school. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not sophomore. Is more soft as Microsoft. I've been seeing a lot of jokes about that lately. They're like, Microsoft is a hilarious thing to name a company.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're calling someone like as like a small dick. Fucking your Microsoft penis.
That's very funny.
I'm sure it has to do with software, not soft dick. But that's where my mind goes because I'm a fucking juvenile person. All right,
Yeah,
let's raid into someone. Thanks for joining us,
putting that
everybody.
together.
This replay will be up on Twitch and also on YouTube. If you missed our
Happy-
ranting about
happy
clickers,
Wednesday.
we started out and then we did some crypto market analysis and we did some wax moves. I saw there's some new Diablo thing. I don't know if it's like a expansion or if it's just for streaming, but they like our streaming software said there's some sort of new Diablo. It said Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred is here. Get overlays to style your stream. I don't know if Vessel of Hatred is a expansion or
Oh,
if Vessel of Hatred is the name of the stream stuff.
yeah. I'll have to check it out.
We will raid. So many people are playing Off the Grid. We could try Off the Grid this Friday. That's like the new crypto game everybody's playing.
Oh yeah. What
It's
what kind of game is it?
like I think it's like one of those like Fortnite style survival shooters. It's either that or like Tarkov where you have to grab shit and then escape, but either way it's kind of like a battle royale. But I mean, we can take a look real quick at what it looks like. You know, we can just raid into online in and then everybody can see it.
Okay, yeah, let's see it. Let's do that.
But yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. Maybe on Friday we'll play that. Tomorrow we'll be watching Off the Rails videos, and I'd like to talk more about horror films. I watched a bunch of the people recommended on Discord, so I need to get some more recs.
Nice, yeah.
Off the
I'll have
Grid
to watch
looks
them
very
too.
like high quality as far as like I'm not gonna call it AAA, but it has like, you know, it's probably built in Unreal Engine. It has like real graphics. It's not like a side scroller or a clicker. Yeah, peace out, everybody. This is Off the Grid. We might play it this Friday.
Yeah, let's check it out. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Hopefully he's actually playing. Is he streaming 24/7 for a month?
We have two different ads.